What's up, all of the tricksters and tricksetas? We have another VOD review at our hands, essentially tier 3 sub VOD review on my Discord server. So today we're coaching Camelto, which is an Omen main playing on Ascent in a silver elo, silver rank. So yeah, we're a bit, in the low elo, but still there's plenty of things to talk about, plenty of things to improve. And what better moment of time for you to improve than when you're in the low elo? At least carrying the games there is 10 times easier than, with Radiant Gorillas. Now, let's see what Camelto has to say to us. I just feel lost on this map sometimes, specifically defense. You should not. I mean, carrying with Omen on Ascent should not be that hard. There's enormous amount of one-way setups, enormous amount of great outplays, especially on the defender side of Ascent. Like, you need to win at least 7 or 8 rounds. Oh, sorry for that. You need to win at least 7 or 8 rounds if you want to have higher chances of winning on the attacker side. Like, this map is heavily defender-sided map, especially in low elo lobbies. Like, losing defender's side is usually going to mean that you're going to lose the whole match. So, I don't know what... Sorry. Alerts! Sorry, I cannot keep that on my stream. Thank you for the sub. So, like, I don't know why would you have problems with Omen on defender side. Like, you have my rank playbook on my Discord server for Omen. On Ascent, you have enormous amount of great plays, setups, cheesy plays with which you can easily get the kills, make a numbers advantage and play with your teammates. So we'll see what you're doing. I mean, one of the main mistakes of players on Ascent is playing defender side way too passively. Like, that is something that you cannot do on Ascent. Like, on Ascent, map is built in a way where, it's very easy to take control of the choke points with the one-way smokes, with utility, with, flashes, stuff like that. And it's just stupid to play this map fully passively. Like, one of your main goals on Ascent is to delay the enemy's push as much as you can, potentially get some picks in the main areas of the map, and also to waste as much utility as possible from the enemies in these 3 areas of the map before the enemies reach the choke point and actually execute the bomb site. Now, I think my offense is fine for the most part, but on defense, I think my mid-round adjustments and decision-making are bad. Okay, we'll see what you can do better, like in terms of your rotations and team play and positioning. Also, may need help with mechanics as well. I mean, if you're a silver, you probably need help with mechanics. We will talk about your mechanics briefly. During every VOD review, I touch on the mechanical skill, like, briefly, for some moment of time. Like, we'll talk about what you need to improve the most, what you're missing the most, etc, etc. But we will mainly focus on your gameplay. When it comes to the mechanical skill, like, I have hundreds of private aim trainings, and I'm just gonna share something that's gonna suit you well. And that's it. No reason to waste our time during this VOD review on your mechanical skill, because as a silver player, there's probably tons of things that you can work on. We can give you some general training and see how much that's gonna improve you. I was climbing fairly fast as I got placed bronze and hit silver in about a week. So I feel like gold is achievable this act, but want to iron out as many problems early before they become set. Good way of thinking, good mindset. Not sure this is the absolutely best VOD for the review, as I died to random things a few times, but maybe that's part of my decision making and positioning making. That's an issue anyway. Okay, we'll see. This VOD I'm doing with Viper as well. Oh, Viper. Viper and Omen. Double controller setup. In Silver 1. Crazy shit. Like pulling out a double controller setup in low elo. It's just pointless. Like, if you're already duo queuing with someone and you're playing Omen, it is much better if that second player is maybe playing a duelist, such as Jet, Raze, maybe like some kind of an initiator, stuff like that. Like, I don't know, like, especially in Ascent, like, why would you play a double controller setup, like, on that map? It's kind of pointless, stupid, like, a lot of clusterfuck can happen, especially if yours or yours duo utility usage is not proper, and we are just wasting it. Unnecessary complication, in my opinion. Like, if you're already duo with someone, and you play Omen, he should play something else. It's just better. I play most of my games with them, but maybe 20% without. Also feels like, in a lot of my losses, I either team MVP or am bottom. But in wins, I'm usually like third or second and get carried by random. I mean, that's normal. That's normal. Essentially, like, you know, the reason why in most of the games that you lose, your team MVP is because you got teammates that are lower ranked than you. They have lower MMR. Like, basically, matchmaking is consistently putting you with, like, especially in low elo. Only God knows with and against who you're going to, like, play. Is it a Smurf? Is it maybe a Platinum player that just deranked? Like, they are, like, when the rank resets, like, you can get even Platinum and Diamond players, even if you're Silver sometimes. Like, matchmaking in Valorant works in that optimized way where, you know, the game really wants you to play as much as possible. And it is absolutely normal, like, that in the games that you lose, you have, you know, team MVP, match MVP, because that usually means that you had, like, one or two teammates, or maybe the whole team, that is worse than you, and also enemies. Like, maybe you were the best player in that specific matchmaking, and Valorant expected you to carry that game. That's the most simple answer I can give you. Like, there's not, like, very low amount of games in Valorant are actually balanced out. Like, extremely low amount, like maybe 50 or 60% of games, which is low for a competitive game. So there's at least 40% of games where one player is here, and then you have the 10th player that is, like, here, essentially. And depending on the matchmaking, depends, you know, also how you're gonna perform, like, in that specific match, and Valorant just expects you to carry that game and to do something to essentially, like, win it. And when you win the games, like, where you're, like, carried, probably, like, Valorant puts you in a match with, you know, one or two players that are just far better than you know, in terms of MMR, skill, stuff like that, and, you know, that's why you feel like that. So, whether or not you get a team MVP, match MVP, whether or not you're carried or all of that doesn't matter. Like, your score doesn't matter in Valorant. If you don't win the matches, if you don't close out the rounds, you can be MVP in every match and lose every game. It doesn't matter. Like, never focus on kills, on score lines and shit like that. Like, focus on closing the rounds, winning the games, and that's it. Like, I would much rather see you win a match that is like 13-11 with a 13-11 scoreline, where you only died 11 times in the rounds that you lost, but you still made every single round some kind of an impactful kill. For which reason you actually won the 13 rounds. Instead of having, like, I don't know, in a 13-11 match, like, 30 kills, 25 deaths, and you're not actually controlling the outcome of your rounds, and you're just fighting some pointless fights that you don't need to fight and stuff like that. So, you know, match MVPs, team MVPs, stuff like that, it doesn't matter. That doesn't showcase really, like, it showcases that you're a good or bad player, like, maybe in terms of mechanics and stuff like that, but it doesn't really showcase, like, how good overall ranked player you are and Valorant player in general. So I have a difficulty making an impact on rounds, I think. Yeah, you know, that's a common problem for a Silver player. Okay, we'll see what we can do here. Let's dive into the tracker review. So, when it comes to the tracker, he's a recent Valorant unenjoyer. He started in episode 7, act 2, and he grinded only during the 2 acts. immediately one thing that I'm gonna mention is that your playtime is suboptimal if you want to have a consistent improvements and some consistent grind in Valorant. Essentially, you know, the minimal optimal amount of games that you want to play in Valorant is 3 per day. If you want to have the consistency across the board, you know, across every skill set and stuff like that. So, and across your grind as well. So, you need to have at least like 180 matches if you want to, you know, keep up with those kids that are playing like 24/7 with pro players that are literally living from the game and they, you know, their job is to play like 25 games per day. So, you know, this is suboptimal. It's not that bad. I've seen worse, like, you know, playtimes, but just keep in mind that if you truly want to grind Valorant, 3 ranked games per day is the minimal optimal amount of games. Now, you know, reaching Silver 2 in 100 hours, that's like average. You know, you're not bad. You're not good, like an average player that just started playing the game, learning the game, and we picked Omen as one of our main characters. Also, based on your statistics, you know, in these 3 acts, I mean, 2 acts, essentially, not bad. I mean, you are moving forward. You know, basically, even without this VOD review, if you just play the game, like, you can easily reach, like, maybe Platinum or Diamond. Platinum, probably, until the end of this year. But let's see how we can speed up that process so that you're not wasting your time like some idiots, you know, like, there's players that play, like, I've seen some serious players that seriously grind Valorant, like, they want to get better, and they're silver and bronze for, like, 5,000 hours, for 4 years. How do you manage to do that? If you're serious about your progress, like, how do you manage to hit the same wall for 4 years? Why don't you get out of your comfort zone? There's probably something wrong. Like, you have some self-reflection. Like also YouTube is filled with free guides, free tutorials. Like, I mean, it depends who you watch. Like, I mean, and whose advice you're listening to. But still, this is not bad. I mean, your performance improvement from Act 3 to Act 1, solid, absolutely solid. This act, you know, when it comes to your general statistics, they're actually optimal for an average silver player that is striving to become platinum or gold. I mean, if you keep up this level of performance and bump up your playtime slightly, I think that next act, like, you should be able to get, you know, gold 3, platinum maybe, easily. This is, all of these stats for a silver player are optimal for this specific elo. ADR above, you know, 140, 130, 1.11 KD. Capture percentage for this elo, absolutely fine. You know, it can be better, of course. You know, like, your mechanical skill can get better, like, for at least like 20 or 30%, but for a silver player, I don't expect you to, you know, I don't expect you to, like, have a insane mechanical skill. Now, everything is fine. KST is also okay. Slightly suboptimal. You know, slightly, you know, it is slightly above average, essentially. It's not that bad. Your team play can be a bit better. Refrag potential and essentially, like, the trading game. But all of these stats, they look promising. Like, they look like this guy or girl, they're gonna reach, like, maybe platinum during the next act. Now, when it comes to, like, clutch percentage, that is bad. You know, 2.1% is kinda low. Essentially, clutch percentage just tells us, like, how well do you play 1 versus 1 and 1 versus 2 scenarios. I mean, I don't really expect you to win 1 versus 5, 1 versus 4, 1 versus 3 once in a blue moon. You should do something like that. But 1 versus 2s and 1 versus 1s, especially in this elo, you should be able to win like 50-60% of times. And we need to do something better during those scenarios. Now, when it comes to the other stats, okay, your amount of last deaths can be a bit better. Now, why is this important? Basically, in low elo, if you're not alive to control the outcome of your rounds, you're just praying to God that your teammates are gonna win it. So, like, in this elo, you really need to play a very smart trading and baiting game. Like, depending what type of teammates you have with yourself, depending on a lot of different factors as well, depends, you know, how fast or how slow you should play the game, and how much you should be playing aggressive game or the passive game. So that might be a huge problem for you, like just not understanding, you know, the timings and when should you actually go in and go out, when should you fight alone, when should you fight with your team and stuff like that. But in this elo, I mean, in every rank below, like Immortal 3, if you're not alive, you pull out the Bible and pray. Even if your teammates are like 4 versus 1 in silver, easy loss. Easy loss. Now, when it comes to other stats, they're okay. You know, as I said already, attacker side really nice. Attacker side really nice. And generally you struggle on defense. I mean, you need to remember that most of your games in Valorant, you win or lose on a defender's side. Yes, of course, attacker side matters, and you should not be bad on attacker side and try to win the games on defense. But on defender side, you actually control a lot. Like, especially with Omen. With your one-way smokes, you can always support your teammates as they're taking the fights. You can predict where the enemies are gonna go next. Like, I think probably one of your main problems is just reading the game, reading the enemies, and overall positioning on a defender's side. Like, with these stats overall, you should not have that many problems on defender's side to actually close out the rounds and win them. I'm 100% certain, like, when we watch this VOD, that's gonna be one of the main problems. Like, just your reading of enemies and initial positioning. And of course, you know, the mid-round decision-making. My guy is like a complete Omen enjoyer. Respect. I mean, Omen is definitely one of the best agents to learn the game, to develop your game sense, map awareness, decision-making, team play, everything, essentially. So, you know, if you enjoy Omen, and as I can see, the agent suits you solidly, keep grinding with Omen, like, until you hit some kind of a roadblock. But I would advise you to, like, I would advise you heavily to maybe try, you know, at least 1 or 2 more agents. Like, basically, up to Immortal 3, everyone should master 4 characters, like 4 agents. Like, where you have, like, 2 main characters and 2, like, flex/fill picks, like alternative picks. Because different agents teach you different stuff about Valorant. They give you a different perspective of the game, perspective of the timings, going for a certain place. You expect, you know, like, what is the reason? Why did I do so many, like, challenges up to Radiant? Like, I reached Radiant on every role and almost, you know, every agent. Yes, you know, like, that's a content, you know, for YouTube and for Twitch. But still, like, all of that shit, all of that grind helped me understand Valorant on a much higher level. You know, it developed my game sense, my decision making. Like, I know what to expect from a Cypher player, what to expect from a Killjoy player, what to expect from a Sova player, stuff like that. So maybe, you know, beside Omen, I don't know, try Jet or Raze. You know? Try Gecko for a bit. Try maybe Chamber, Yoru, something like, or maybe more simple stuff in this elo. Like maybe Phoenix, for an example. Like, see if there's any other agents that maybe suit you better or equally as Omen, and, you know, develop yourself. Like, you grow as a player in that specific way. Oh, yeah. I mean, based on this tracker, I can immediately tell you one thing. Like, on average, I firmly believe that in every single game that you play, you have at least 2, 3, or 4. 2, 3, or 4 deaths that are preventable and that should not happen for you. A minimum 2, 3, or 4. Like every game that you play, there's at least 4 times where you die, and there was no reason for you to die, based on all of these stats, and especially based on your match history. A lot of deaths, for this rank, like, I highly doubt there's a reason for you to die this many times. Bind, the best map. Thanks God, one Omen player that actually knows how to play Bind. Bind should be your best map always. When you're playing Omen, like, the easiest map to carry on. And the worst is Sunset. I mean, to be honest, across all of the maps, you perform quite... you have quite identical performance. Not bad, like, this is quite good. Only on Abyss, like, you suffer a bit, but... Abyss and Sunset, to be honest. But to other maps, like, not that shabby, like. And on Omen, actually, on Bind, you can definitely have a bit better performance. You know, 1.02 KD on Bind, and 127 ADR in Silver with Omen. With my playbook on Discord server, come on, man. Like, carrying the games on Bind should be like a walk through the park for you with Omen. Like, there's so many outplays, so many setups, so many smokes, so many executes, like... in this elo, you should have like 70%, 100% win rate on this stupid map with this agent. But okay, the map pool right now is totally fine for Omen. Like, you can play him on every map, any map, like, so, okay, all good. When it comes to the loadouts, like, very good. And the only thing that is bad for you is, like, eco rounds. You need to find better solution for eco rounds. Like, it is kinda criminal, you know, behavior, that with Omen you don't have at least 1 KD in eco rounds in this elo. Because it should be so easy for you, in this rank, to trade yourself for at least 1 kill when you're playing Omen. I mean, you don't need to kill, like, the whole enemy team, but there's probably some kind of a better solution that you can find in eco rounds to trade yourself for more kills. Like, you know, shorty, light shield, smoke, shrouded steps, like, do some crazy outplay, get in the enemy's face, like, apply the shorty more, like, it's just easy. And it should feel easy for you. Like, if I was you, I would focus more on what you do during the eco rounds, and I would go for some more kamikaze plays and essentially, like, implementing some cheesy strategies from the rank playbook that can allow you to be a much more useful asset and ally during these rounds. We'll talk about it. We'll see in the VOD what's happening for you. Another thing that I don't like is your weapon versatility. You have way too many kills on Vandal and Phantom compared to other weapons. Your weapon versatility should be much better. Like, Outlaw, okay, it's there, not bad. You know, Outlaw should be one of your primary anti-eco weapons, essentially. You're playing on a defender side. You see that 3 or 4 enemies have less than 3,800 credits. Force the Outlaw. Easiest kills of your life. And even in against the enemies that have the heavy shield, in this elo, 2 body shots, get these guys out of server, like, I mean, or go for the headshot, obviously. Stinger is there, not bad. Shorty, used, but the success rate is debatable. Okay, listen, even though you play Omen, Operator is something that every single player in Valorant should learn how to use and how to abuse. Because Operator is literally a free elo stick. The most consistent weapon in the game, number 1. Every other game in Valorant, every other gun in Valorant is mega inconsistent. Operator, proper crosshair placement, static mechanical skill, proper positioning. In this elo, you can always be good for at least 1 or 2 kills, obviously on defender's side. On attack, you should buy Operator only if enemies are way too repetitive, and you think you can just punish 1 enemy and delete him from the map. Then, like, you know, Odin. Come on, like, we have 3 paper maps right now in Valorant. I mean, in the map pool. Ascent, Lotus, and Haven. You're playing Lotus. This wall, spammable. Kill the enemies there. The doors, spammable. 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 This corner here, spammable. This corner here, spammable. Like, you can spam the enemies as they're pushing the B main area of the map through here and destroy the Killjoy ultimate. Spam. Like, there are so many, like, you know, cheesy kills that you can get. Especially if your teammates don't want to go for some aggressive plays. Essentially, like, you know, on a defender side, like, they don't want to fight for main control. Buy the Odin, shit on the enemies, and that's it. Like, simple as that. And even on the attack, like, there's a lot of great spam spots to take those kills. Why do people always say that Operator takes no skill? I don't get it. Operator takes a lot of skill. Like, with Operator, like, positioning is mega important. And repositioning, which angles you abuse, your static aim, reaction time, like. But, you know, the best moment of time for you to learn Valorant and to diversify yourself is right now, as we are speaking. Like, no matter in which healer you are, like, if you want to reach Radiant, you need to be a versatile, self-sustainable player that doesn't rely only on one playstyle. Like, you should do everything. You know, be a master of everything, essentially. Especially when it comes to the weapons in Valorant. Depending which round you play, which strategy you want to perform, how you want to counter the enemies, depends which gun you're buying at that moment of time. Judge also, I mean, on maps such as Bind, like, in this elo, it's basically 3 kills, and then on both the defenders and attacker side, you can maybe apply it a bit more. Other than that, like, everything else is, like, absolutely fine. Just, I think that based on your tracker, and based on this loadout, you can probably get away with enormous amount of cheesy kills rather than fighting the enemies only with a Vandal. Like, reaching Ascent 1 in this game is a piece of cake. Even in Immortal. If you don't stick only to one playstyle and, you know, a specific weaponry. Like, one of the main reasons why players get hard stuck in one rank for an enormous amount of time is they never want to get outside of their comfort zone. Like, a lot of the players, like, they have their own comfort. They're scared to try new things, and that is stopping their growth. And I can gamble, and I can actually firmly say that at least like 60 or 70% of players that are hard stuck, they're hard stuck only because they never tried anything new. They're just hitting the same wall, doing the same shit, expecting their teammates to carry them or something like that. And they never experiment. Like, they never try different sides of Valorant, like, learn different things, like, you know. It's just stupid. Just stupid. Overall, not bad. Actually, you know, average, slightly above average. I firmly believe that with this level of performance, like, you should be able to reach gold or high or even platinum during the next act. And until the end of this year, Diamond is fairly possible. Diamond, maybe even low ascendant, to be honest. It really depends how many hours you're gonna put into Valorant, but with this, you know, if you continue with this improvement, it's gonna be good. It's gonna be good. Okay, let's finally see what Camel Toe presented for us in this VOD review. So, we have Omen, Silver 1 on Ascent. Let's get it. We also have the face cam here. It's he. Okay. Okay, now, before we begin with the VOD review, let's talk about the attacker side of Ascent and the most important tips that you need to know about this map in ranked solo queue. So, your default bomb site and number 1 priority is A site. Your secondary priority, B site. And third priority, mid area of the map. Now, on this map, playing the post plants is much easier on A, and your teammates have a very limited amount of mistakes that they can make on the A side, compared to the mid and B side. Essentially, in the first 4 to 6 rounds on Ascent, you should consistently try to push something together as 5. Like, play together. Like, try to split the A set together, split the B set together, push the B set through B main, push the A set through A main, and only from the round 5th, 6th, or 4th round, you should maybe start like lurking, defaulting, depending, you know, what type of team composition enemies have, and also depending like how the rounds are going. If the team play game is working for you, that is the absolutely best thing that can happen for you. If enemies don't have a single response to your executes, they're absolutely fucked. Because, you know, if they cannot stop your pushes, you're taking the bombs for free, especially if you're winning the post plants, the match is over. So, in the first 4 to 6 rounds on Ascent, play together as 5, and only from the round like 5 or 6, you know, that is when you can maybe start lurking, flanking, defaulting, depending how the match is going. Now, what do we push in the first round of Ascent? Depends completely on the enemy's team composition. So, if enemies have 0 or 1 of these guys and girls right here, so 0, 1, we do a 5-man push onto A side, 3 rounds in a row, and then in a 4th round, we fake A and we go B. If enemies have 2+ of these monkeys, essentially Cypher, Killjoy, and Sage, like they have a, I don't know, Sage and Killjoy, Sage and Cypher, Killjoy and Cypher for some reason, then in the first round, immediately, we need to do some kind of a split. Because doing a 5-man push to the choke points most of the times will result in a horrific death of your allies against this type of a team composition. So, if they have 2+ of these guys, we need to do a 1-4 split through the market, or we need to do a 2-3 split, essentially through the A main and A short. Where should the spike go during these splits? Here and here. Where should you go? Always mid. So, let's take a look at the enemy's team composition. They have only Deadlock as a sentinel, so they have 1 sentinel, but I don't even count Deadlock as a real sentinel. Like, she's very easy to, you know, outmaneuver, very easy to push the site against her, like, especially in this elo. I highly doubt that this Deadlock has, you know, some kind of an idea what is a proper setup and how to delay or stop your pushes. So, against this type of a team composition, what I would do, I would just push the A site 3 rounds in a row, creating an unpredictable pattern of pushing, and also A site is much easier to be pushed than B on this map. And then in a 4th round, fake A, go B. So in the first round with Omen, if you're pushing in the A site, classic light shield, 2 smokes, 2 shrouded steps, we're jump spotting the enemies here, pushing with our allies, and in this elo, so in low elo and medium elo, I would do this. So I will give my teammates a smoke here, but I will also place an aggressive smoke for myself. Because if you're playing in low and medium elo, I highly recommend you, if you play Omen, always in the first round, go for some kind of an aggressive play yourself. Like, your utility should still support your teammates to some degree, but I'm always placing 1 piece of utility for myself. Because in these 2 elos, you cannot really trust your teammates to do a proper job. Like, you don't know how your teammates are gonna go in. Are they gonna take the space control? Are they gonna pressure the enemies? Especially your duelists, like, only God knows what type of executes they're gonna do. So in the first round, you always play Omen as a duelist. And we're doing a smoke here. This type of a smoke in the middle of the generator. And we're simply teleporting on top of the gen through the choke point. Once you reach this position, you have 2 options. Option number 1, wait for the contact between enemies and your allies. So wait for your allies to reveal the enemies, and then on that contact, peek the enemies and kill them. Option number 2, we can extend our play and teleport under the rafters, and from this position, slowly take the bomb site control and backstab the enemies. So, essentially, your job is not to take the first fight with the enemies. Your job is just to apply the pressure, take initial space for your teammates, and be ready to refrag your allies as they're moving into the bomb site. So you need to run, in front of your teammates, jump spotting this angle, taking the aim and control, jump spotting this angle, then doing this smoke for the short, this smoke here, and then, teleporting on top of the gen. Then, just look at the minimap, pay attention to which fights your teammates are fighting, and on the first contact between enemies and your allies, get the kills. You said light shield, impossible to get 2 smokes and 2 teleports. But my brother, economy management, 0 points. How is it impossible? You already have 1 smoke. You're buying only 1 smoke. You're gonna be left with like what? 0 credits. Like, come on, man. Now, that's what you should do in the first round if you're playing Omen on Ascent and we are pushing A site in medium and low elo lobbies. In high elo lobbies, like basically what I do, I just do my regular setup, which is this and this. And as my teammates are pushing in, I just teleport in this corner. You can do that as well, but I highly doubt that in low elo, in silver, you're gonna have a proper utility that is gonna clear these close angles for yourself. And only God knows, like, what type of an execute your jet is gonna do, or whoever you have as a duelist. Now let's see what my friend is gonna do, where they're gonna go, and what's gonna happen. So we're pushing B. Now the reason why I really avoid doing a 5-man push on B site in the first round is because there's many more crossfires and angles that you need to clear, plus your teammates can die without you being able to refrag them, depending how fast or how slow they're pathing into the bomb site. And the final reason is, like, if your push gets stopped or delayed, in the B main area of the map, enemies can spam us through this wall, they can F us up with utility, they can already pinch us from mid fast, and regaining the map control is a lot harder. And anyways, if enemies have like, 1 sentinel in their team, most of the times that sentinel is gonna play on the B site, 80% of the times, so I'm gonna take that specific gamble as well. Like, I wanna avoid the sentinels in the first round as I'm leading my teammates in this low and medium elo. Now, if you are pushing for some reason B site in the first round, once again, I will always go for an aggressive play in low elo lobbies. So essentially, I'm gonna smoke CT, and I'm gonna do this type of a smoke here. This smoke allows you to teleport there and here, and allows you to go immediately for an aggressive play where you can take the stairs control, maybe surprise the enemies in the market, or simply, from this position, there's so many outplays that you can do, depending how you place the CT smoke. With the CT smoke, you can also teleport up here, like, essentially. And from this position, try to fuck up the enemy, try to surprise them. If you think that enemies are not there. Like, there's so many things you can do. Like, in the ranked playbook, you have, like, 5, 6, 7 different outplays. But the moral of the story is, in the first round, never play passively. Never play as a support in the low elo. Like, between Iron 1 and Diamond 3. Always go for some aggressive play and take the initial space yourself. You don't need to take the first fight, but just pressure the enemies. Be on the site. So that your teammates are able to refrag your teammates and pick every single fight that your teammates are picking at that moment of time.
I say Mark.
And also, God knows what your duelists are gonna do. Okay. I mean, if you're doing a 1-4 market split in the first round, I would never smoke the A short. Like, much more important smokes are this smoke and this smoke. If you're pushing B side through the market in the first round, fuck it. You know, just pass the short. Fight the short. Tell the jet to smoke it briefly as we're passing in. This smoke doesn't do anything. Plus, it allows the enemies to get in the smoke and potentially, you know, backstab you fast and kill your teammates. Okay. We need to check the angles. Enemy spotted B. Okay, that's a bad mistake by the Brimstone. I don't know why would you pick that. Fuck yeah, I mean here, to be fair, you know, what I would be doing instead of what my friend Kemelto is doing is like I usually play with my most aggressive teammates that have the highest chances of dying. You know, here instead of chilling in market where the doors are closed, I wouldn't be in the market. I would actually be with my jet. Because jet is overextending in the CT area of the map. She's gonna end up in some kind of a crossfire. And she has the highest chance of dying right now. And here, since the enemies are pushing you, I mean, just play a refray game. We don't need to do anything specific, to be honest. If enemies were not pushing us, and they were playing passively, we had to destroy these doors as soon as possible and just run it down onto the B site.
Are we pushing this or rotating out?
Like, that question is valid, but to be honest, I mean, you see that, you know, your jet is fighting the enemies in the CT. Both of the enemies are on the B site. You know, Deadlock and Claw are B. All of the enemies on A are dead. Just rotate A, plant the spike, and that's it. But I would still fight here with my jet and with my Sky because, you know, why would I lose an opportunity to reframe my allies and fight with them? I'm not gonna fully commit to this fight against Claw and Deadlock, but I'll try to reframe my allies, you know, jiggle peek behind them, try to use their lives to take some kills. Both enemies are B. I don't know, here like map awareness, 0 points. Map awareness, 0 points. Like, we saw the Deadlock on B. We saw the Clove on B. Come on. Like, listen. One of the main moments of times when you should look at the minimap is when you're not fighting a single fight. When there is not a single chance for you to take a fight with the enemies. Like here, for an example. You're looking towards the doors that are closed. Enemies are not Casper the Ghost. They cannot, you know, slide through these doors and kill you. Here, what I would be looking at right now is just the minimap. To see how much I'm overexposed, which angles I should take, where are my teammates fighting, and that's it. Here as well, right now. Why is your crosshair towards the doors? Enemies can kill you through the CT. Check the minimap, see where are your teammates, play with them. And you are checking the minimap, like I see here, he's checking like this, like, you know, look at his eyes. You got the info.
Are we pushing this?
Deadlock is here.
We're rotating out.
Clove is there. Fuck it. Okay. You know, Viper, Killjoy, let's go A, let's plant the spike, and that's it.
Okay. 3.
Okay, finally, they won back.
That smoke probably has like 3 seconds left.
And listen, please, like, whenever you're, no matter through which area of the map you're pathing, no matter what you're doing in Valorant, your crosshair should always be on the most probable angle from which enemies can kill you at that moment of time. It is always better to be safe rather than sorry. Period. Like, right now, we know the 2 enemies are B. And you're running towards the A side with this type of a crosshair placement. When they can peek through the smoke. Come on, man. Like, we run like this. Of course, fighting with a classy pistol in this range against enemies with a ghost is a suicide. But at least, you know, I can try. If they peek me, they're not gonna backstab me in my butthole. And then, while I'm doing this, maybe the enemies will start pathing through the smoke. I will get the information about the enemies. And that's it. Like, we're not losing information. We're not gonna get backstabbed. Your crosshair should always be on the most probable angle.
Hear that?
from which enemies can kill you.
As you're back.
Yeah, they started shooting. Oh, I bombed, don't I?
Playing it for me.
Yeah.
And here, like, instead of playing an Omen, I would probably play on the side with a classic pistol, but since we are 4 versus 2, you know, depends what our teammates want to do. We still have a one-way smoke for that, you know, generator post plant, so it's okay. I mean, whatever. We're probably not gonna lose this round.
One enemy remaining.
Yeah, I mean, like, just play the post plant.
Oh, what
One-way smoke. Very good. Solid round. Solid round.
That
Just, I think that we got a bit lucky in this round. I mean, like, enemies just pushed us like imbeciles on mid. Against this enemy team composition, splitting the B or pushing the B, or essentially, like, making B set your main priority is just stupid. Like, A set executes are a lot cleaner. There is less of a chance that your teammates can make some kind of a mistake. Chances are much higher that you will be able to refrag your teammates at every single moment of time. Period. Now, in this round here, so if you win the first round of, you know, like Ascent, in the second round, once again, I would go A. Essentially, like, whenever enemies are eco or halbye on a defender side of Ascent, in low elo, just avoid this area of the map. Just do the absolutely cleanest B main push. Be aware that enemies can maybe be inside of this smoke with the shotguns. Spam it a bit. Tell your teammates to use some recon abilities, and that's it. And send it onto the A site. Now, when it comes to the buy options, he saved the light shield from the first round. So in this round, obviously, I'm not gonna buy the heavy shield. You can go with a Stinger Shorty, Spectre if you really prefer the Spectre. You can go with a Bulldog and Utility. It's really up to you. On this map, most of the times I go either Stinger Shorty Heavy Shield or Bulldog Heavy Shield and Utility. It's really up what you prefer.
Wow.
But here pushing the B set is a bit of a Sudoku move in the second round, because there's many more angles that we need to clear on the B side. There's many more positions where enemies can play with the shotguns, classic pistols, and eco weapons to surprise us and kill us. Thus, pushing the B set, like, really doesn't make any sense when you're playing an anti-eco round on Ascent.
Fucking put a bullet in the back of her head.
Turret out.
I mean, I don't like to speak about these things, but you really do struggle based only on 2 rounds with the verticality of your crosshair placement. You know, as you're clearing the angles, your crosshair is going like bap, 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 bap. Also, like, your crosshair placement generally is like a bit off. Angle clearing needs to be a bit more methodical. Like, you need to have a move and stop motion. Like, you're just swinging the angles without, you know, proper movement. Like, take your time, you know. Jump spot this angle, check this position, go in and out, slowly path here, then, you know, check this position with proper crosshair placement, etc, etc. Like, you're rushing things out too much. Like, at this level of gameplay, precision and doing proper stuff is far more important than speed. Speed is gonna come over the time as you're building the good habits, as you're essentially growing as a player and experiencing different scenarios. Right now, focus on precision and making the right plays. Like, stop rushing things out, essentially. And when it comes to, you know, crosshair placement, like, we have plenty of trainings for that. Like, I'm just gonna recommend you, you know, some kind of an aim training for that. We're gonna fix it. Like, there's multiple ways how you can fix crosshair placement. Like, you know, observing the boxes in Valorant. Like, you know, every single box in Valorant is almost identical height as the player model. So we can use that to approximately find the height of our crosshair placement. There's a lot of the lineups and details on the wall that can help you with proper crosshair placement. For an example, when I'm peeking in this angle, I know where do I place my crosshair? I line up my crosshair with this little window right here. Like, I know exactly that I need to place my crosshair there in order to kill an enemy that is here. So we have a lot of these free tools that can help you with proper crosshair placement in Valorant. Like, for example, you're waiting for this peak. Where's the enemy head? On top of the top brick, right here. Like, I memorized an enormous amount of these details on the walls and lineups that help me with just absolutely best crosshair placement at that moment of time. And when it comes to this mouse control where, like, you know, you wobble up and down as you're clearing the angles, well, that can be fixed with some tracking tasks like in Aimlabs, Kovacs. Like in practice range, you can try to focus only on the proper horizontality of your aim. Like, we'll figure it out. Like, there's so many trainings you can do for this. And it's very simple to fix, essentially. Another way how you can fix a crosshair placement in Valorant, you just spend some time in a custom game. You know, invite a friend and play a 1 versus 1. Like a game. Like, he hides somewhere, you know, on the bomb site, and your job is just to properly clear the angles and memorize how his body looks like on all of these, you know, common positions and off angles. So many different things that you can do to practice that. Now, listen here. One very important rule with Omen. Whenever enemies are eco and halby on a defender's side, attacker side as well, never go for aggressive plays unless you really need to do that for some reason. Like, you lost the numbers or you're in a situation where you can go for an aggressive play. Like in this round, I would just do a default setup and just push the B set in the most default way possible. Like, basically, I would, you know, buy a Stinger, Shorty with Paranoia and Utility, jump spot this angle, clear the B main area of the map, jump spot the enemies here. We do a one-way smoke for the market, regular smoke for the CT, this type of a setup, flash the enemies on the left, and just, you know, move in. Close the switch maybe, and then move with your teammates into the bomb site. No reason to complicate things. In this round, he didn't buy Paranoia. I don't know why, to be honest. And this smoke that he did in market is just, it's horrific for this round. Like,
Nobody
We got B.
another tip: you never teleport instead of this smoke like this, and you never place this smoke in this way when you're going for an aggressive play. This is mega giga risky. Mega risky. Like, essentially, in this area of the map, we only have 3 executes. So, an aggressive smoke for an outplay looks like this. It should provide you a corner here and this spot right here. And your job is to teleport either in this corner and then enter the smoke sideways, teleport down here, and then clear the top of the smoke and then move in, or teleport behind the smoke a bit deeper. Essentially, you know, we do a Paranoia and we do this behind the enemies and then enter the smoke from the back. But if you teleport directly in the smoke, you don't know if an enemy is sitting inside of it, and it's way too risky. Way too risky. The only times I would maybe teleport inside of the smoke is if I'm at least 80 or 90% certain that there is no way that an enemy can be there. Like, I just deployed the smoke right now, you know, and I instantly do this. That's okay. If the distance between your smoke deployment, time distance, between your smoke deployment and a shrouded step was less than a second, it's okay. Okay, maybe we can do it and try to do something more risky.
I'll hold stairs here, mark it.
To be fair, like, in this scenario, staying, like, alone at the front site is a bad move. Like, I mean, here, the only times I would stay in this position is if I'm playing some kind of an eco or halby round and I need to trade myself for the kills. You know, let's say enemies are full buy right now and I have a Stinger. Okay, I'll stay here to maybe pressure the enemies, trade myself for like 1, 2, 3 kills, and that's it. And give my teammates higher chances of winning this round. But this is an anti-eco round. Enemies have low buy, I mean, they have nothing, essentially. 2 of your teammates are on the site. We still don't know if maybe 1 more enemy is on the site. How you know that the site is clear right now? And how do you know that your teammates are going to clear it properly? I wouldn't trust my teammate, especially in low elo, with this type of a job. Right now, I would just move into the site, through the stairs, take the full side control, backside control, get ready for the post plant. We don't need to isolate these stupid, 1 versus X gunfights in these anti-eco rounds. Just win the round based on the economy advantage, and that's it. Like, you'll have the highest chances of winning this round if you stay alive and just play a proper refrag game with your allies. Here, once again, the crosshair placement, abysmal. You know, I don't even want to mention it. And this reload on 5 bullets is very unnecessary. Like, you heard a lot of footsteps in that market. I mean, how do you know that, multiple enemies are not gonna swing at this moment of time? Like, I reload only when I'm absolutely safe to reload, or if, when would I reload the Stinger? If I have less than 6 bullets. Then I will reload it in any case scenario, because if you have like 4 bullets, chances of you killing an enemy is very, very low. But on 15 bullets, you're able to kill 2 more enemies, literally. But anyways, after this kill, what I would have done is instantly teleport behind my Viper wall and play with my allies. Refrag game. We're 4 versus 3, man. Don't die, don't.
Hey, 2.
And now we come to the interesting part of this round. And that part is pulling out the Bible and reading every paragraph and praying to God that our teammates are gonna win this. And chances are 50-50. In this elo, it doesn't matter that enemies are eco right now. You just don't know. Especially this early in the match, you never know how good or how bad your teammates are. Always remember one very important tip for Valorant. Like, in the first 4 rounds, of a match, we call the learning rounds. Those are the rounds where we want to learn as much information as possible about enemies and about our allies. We need to see how we want to play the game against these enemies, how we want to counter them, and also we want to see how much we can trust our teammates and whether or not we should play aggressive, passive, who should we support, stuff like that. After the 5th round, you make a decision. But in the first 4 rounds, you always value your life a lot. You play a textbook Valorant. What is a textbook Valorant? A refrag game, making numbers advantage, abusing as many different angles as possible, playing team play game together with your allies, respecting the numbers, respecting the economy advantage, gambling on the statistical data, stuff like that. Let's see the round. I mean,
Cloves market.
they're probably gonna win it, but
KO's out on site.
it's literally 50-50. Ah! This is your teammate.
KO and Brim are low cat. KO half.
Okay.
Nice.
Okay. Stay alive. Stay alive. Don't overheat. You made a numbers advantage. You have teleports. You're playing Omen. Get the fuck out. When you get a numbers advantage, get the fuck out. Get the fuck out. If you can get the fuck out. Get the fuck out. Okay, now, in this 3rd round as well, I would just push the A side. I mean, all 3 of these rounds, I would just push A, because it's a lot easier against this enemy team composition. Now, we need to pay attention on one variable in this match. Enemies have a KO. KO players, usually what they love to do an instant knife at the start of the round to reveal, the B main area of the map, and A main area of the map, or any area of the map. So if I'm pushing Ascent against the KO in the early stages of the game, usually I tell my teammates to, you know, wait here a bit, dodge the KO knife, and then we push in. Now, I don't know how complicated that is for the silver brain gorillas, but at least you should try. Like I always say to the players that I coach, like, I never expect you to be an IGL, but give your teammates the ideas, you know, where should they go, do some micro corrections if you think that these micro corrections can give you higher chances of winning the rounds and winning the games. So in this round, you know, pushing A is absolutely fine. Just, I would definitely tell my teammates to dodge the KO knife, and then we push in slowly. Let me see what he buys.
Alright,
in this round.
See it.
Okay, Stinger, Shorty, Stinger and Utility. Okay, fine. I mean, his teammates are playing a, you know, if your teammates are playing a third bonus round, you should play the third bonus round as well.
Let's go crazy.
The only thing here is, like, I don't understand why you're saving so many credits.
Let's go crazy.
Listen, like, when you're managing your economy, always invest in a specific round that you're playing every single credit that you're not going to use in the next round. Because that specific utility, shield, or gun might allow you to win the current round. So right now, even if we lose this round, in the next round we have 5,750 credits. In this round, we could have bought Lyshel and Vendel, for an example. With minimal utility, you know, 2 smokes and 1 shrouded step. Here, you want to play a Stinger. Okay, no problem. Stinger, Heavy Shield, Paranoia, 2 shrouded steps, and Shorty. Why are you saving? Are you going to buy Operator in the next round? Highly doubt. I mean, you should not do it anyways. Like, but these extra credits that you invest might allow you to win this round. You know, having a Heavy Shield. Maybe we kill an enemy in the aim area of the map. You pick up the Vandal from the dead enemy. Voila! You're playing a full buy round now. You have a Heavy Shield, you have a Vandal. Kill the enemies. It's just stupid economy management. Like, always invest all of the credits that you're not going to use in the next round. Period.
That's all I ask.
Alright, Jet, let's see it.
I'll check the top here. Or not.
And this is why I would tell my teammates to dodge the KO knife. Like, when you're dodging the KO knife or Sova dart, always wait for like around 5 or 6 seconds before you move in. That's okay amount of time. Now, you know, this jump that he's trying to do here is very simple. And also remember that when you're jumping up here, and, you know, when you want to push the aim in area of the map from this position, you can always do a silent jump if you actually hold the shift at the end of your jump, essentially. I don't know why I'm not able to do it right now, but that's it. Like, third time is the charm. Practice that in a custom server, like, it's very important. Because sometimes, you know, if I hear an enemy jumping there, I just hide from the enemies here, and I focus on this guy. And I kill this guy as he's peeking, because most of the times, you know, especially in low elo, if a player is here, and his teammates peek this guy pre-assumes that no one is in the aiming area of the map. But this guy can hold this angle, delete that player, while these guys don't see him at all. So, you know, don't make a sound. Yikes. Okay. I mean, we did pick this angle together with our Sky.
Someone else on orb.
Shadows traveling.
Mistake! Now, what is the mistake? Listen. When you're doing the smokes for the aggressive plays, So, we want to do this type of an aggressive setup. Smoke here,
Cover going out.
smoke here,
Shadows.
and teleport, you know, here, here, or here. Like with the smoke, you have like 3 different outplays. You know, you can teleport on the right side, and then from this position engage the enemies. Also from this spot, you can teleport all the way on the rafters, backstab the enemies. Like, there's so many. I mean, just this generator area of the map gives you like 3 different outplays. And then from these 3 different outplays, you can do like 3 more. But, very important tip for Omen. Your aggressive smoke, so smoke for an aggressive play, is always the second smoke, not the first one. So that you're not giving enemies an idea for what type of play you're going at that moment of time. And also remember that the time distance between your teleport and an aggressive smoke should never be more than 3 seconds. Maximum 3 seconds. So, between you doing this
Cover going out.
and this, 3 seconds maximum. If it is more than 3 seconds, enemies can already path into our smoke, get ready for this play, and fuck us up from within the smoke. So, chill a bit, you know.
No charges.
Because here we were not ready to actually execute the bomb site. And, you know, if you're not going in, wait a bit. You know, wait for the enemy smoke to go down, and then let's push together.
Immediate left, right is clear. Heaven. 2 heaven, 2 heaven.
Listen, when you're positioning this smoke for the generator, I highly recommend you to position the smoke like this. Because this specific smoke allows you, so towards yourself more, like this. And this smoke allows you to teleport on top of it, here and here. You can go for 3 different plays. Because if enemies see you that in one round that you teleported up and you did this, then in the next round, you know, you can teleport here and then just do this. Or you can go from this side and then go with a paranoia and do this for an example. Like, now, another reason why I put this smoke a bit more towards myself like this, instead of a generator, like you want to have this part of the gen open, so you can swing on the contact between your teammates and the enemies. And, you know, kill the enemies at their backside and support your allies. If this smoke is exactly in the middle of the generator, on top of it, you cannot see the enemies. You cannot peek anywhere. You're just stuck up here until you drop down. Good kills. I mean, I like... Was it good that in this round, he went for an aggressive play? Abso-fucking-lutely. Absolutely. Like, we don't have a duelist. Jet is AFK with Operator. The whole match. Thus far, Jet is a bit AFK. She's playing alone. So, if Duelist is not pushing the side together with you, in that match, you're playing Omen as a Duelist. And going for the aggressive outplays 24/7. And another reason why, in this round anyways, even if my Jet was aggressive, why would I go for an aggressive play? We're playing a bonus round. You know, we're half by. We have a Stinger. If I'm playing a bonus round, or I'm half by, 90% of the times you want to go for some kind of an aggression. Like close the gap with the enemies, fuck them up, get in their face, let them eat these 20 bullets of a Stinger.
Flash 3. 23.
I don't know if I would switch Stinger for the RS, but okay.
Going top.
Oh, this is gonna be nasty, bro. This is gonna look nasty. That's a flash, bro. Let's dodge it. Okay, okay. You can dodge the flashes in Valorant. Essentially, does it make a difference if you turn around or not? Yes. Basically, you halve the duration for which you're flashed if you turn away from the flash. Same as in real life. I mean, I never tried it, so... Yeah. Essentially, why I'm speaking about this basic stuff, because you know, sometimes I even coach like Ascendant players that, and they don't know that they can get away from the Fade C's with the Shrouded Steps. We need to cover the basic stuff sometimes as well. Okay. In this round, we push A again. Why? Enemies are eco-hull by. We just won 3 rounds in a row. The minimal amount of mistakes that your teammates can make in this round is on A. But if they don't want to listen, then we push together with our allies. What rank is this? Silver 1. Silver 1, Silver 2, I don't know. Something like that. Jump spotting, I like that you're doing it. I like that you're trying at least. But you need to spend some time in a custom server, you know, or deathmatch like, to dial in this mechanic. It's just way too slow for you and, you know, a bit scuffed. Like, it should be a lot cleaner, like, you know, and a lot faster as well, like, you know, just moving in and out and then flicking fast, like, essentially, you're kind of in a slow motion. But I like that you're at least doing it. Now listen, man. If you're pushing the beam in area of the map of Ascent, slowly, by shifting, how are you a wizard, Harry? Are you a wizard? If you are a wizard, please, like, man, just $1 million will fix all of my problems, every single one of them. If you're not a wizard, clear the angles. Why? You shifted through the B main area of the map, like you did this, and then jump spotted this angle. But who guarantees you that one enemy is maybe not playing in this off angle? Who guarantees you that one enemy is maybe not hiding right here? Nobody. Like, if I was pushing here, after this jump spot, I'm gonna check this spot, and this spot as well. Plus, enemies have a jet. They can easily play this angle with the dash ability, just on a regular off angle, you know, where jet players like to play and get the kills. If we are not wizards, we need to clear it properly. Okay? Oh, sorry, guys. No, this guy said someone is here, but no, man. No one is gonna guard. No, bro. Like this guy said someone is here, man. Like, no one is gonna like guard the B set, huh?
One market and one by switch.
Okay. Okay, we need to destroy that wall.
Break this or rotate. I'd say just rotate now.
Listen here. Another very important tip. Whenever you have a sage wall somewhere, so enemies place a wall, sage or deadlock wall. So let's say, you know, it really doesn't matter. Both are the same. So enemies have a sage wall here or a deadlock wall. Before you decide to make any move, so maybe cut the noise, reheat the site, or rotate, or fake the enemies, whatever, destroy that piece of utility to open up the map a bit more, and to also like pressure the enemies. As long as the enemies have this deadlock wall right here, they don't need to worry about that area of the map at all. Like for 30-40 seconds, that area of the map is locked down. And they can focus on mid, market, A short, A site, etc, etc. You see, you know, let's say for example you're playing Bind. Sage does this wall right here. No matter what is the strategy, if you want to rotate back, you know, like to A or push window or open that area of the map, like destroy at least one block before you rotate. Just additional layer of pressure. Same goes for enemy's sentinel utility. Like, if you have a chance to destroy the Killjoy turret, Cypher camera, some of the Cypher trips, do it. You know, for example, on Haven, it is very important that in almost every single round, we should be destroying the Killjoy's turret and Cypher's utility in the garage. We apply that layer of pressure every round, and then enemies need to worry about, you know, multiple different pathings and opportunities that we created. On Ascent, you know, like, a very common alarm bot is like, people just place alarm bot here. Pre-fire it a bit. You know, spam a bit the ground, tell your Soba to maybe use a shock dart there, like, any utility that we destroy from the enemy's team, even if we're not going through that area of the map, creates another layer of pressure that enemies need to worry about, essentially. Here, rotating back to A is absolutely fine. You know, absolutely. It's not a bad play. Just, we should have destroyed the wall.
I have no smokes, but
Is it worth trying to default in lower ranks? In lower ranks, I will default only if my teammates' executes are so bad and they're not working at all. Then I would default and try to search for some solo picks. And another moment of time when I would default is if enemies are mega aggressive on a defender's side, I'll just wait for them to push us and kill them. You know, they're very repetitive with their aggression on defense. Okay, wait for them, kill them, and deal with them. Otherwise, like, the more you default in low ranks, higher are the chances that your teammates are going to die alone.
Alright.
And you won't be able to refrag them.
5 seconds yet. Smoke's there.
Another very important tip, like, whenever you're pushing through a short area of the map of Ascent, always keep this type of a crosshair placement. You know, if the short is clear, check this as well, and then move forward. Because, you know, a lot of the times enemies are gonna play here, wait for you to start crossing there, ba ba boo ba ba. They kill you, ba ba boo ba ba ba. Don't be ba ba boo ba ba bad.
What was that?
Now we come to another very important general rule in Valorant. Whenever you're pushing some kind of a bomb site, only through the short area of that map. So the main area of the map is uncontested. Make sure that you clean the main area of the map before your teammates start dying from that position. So if I'm pushing A site, I don't give a crap if enemies are here or under the site. Like, my main focus is checking if one enemy maybe took additional space, and then I'm focusing myself on everything else. So sometimes, you know, what I do with Omen, essentially, I will put a smoke here, instead of the rafters, flash the site, and teleport in that smoke. Even though it is a bit risky play, it's better for you to die at the end of the day than your team is dying from the potential enemies that are here. I mean, I highly doubt that enemies are going to play exactly in the choke point. Usually people are way too more scared than they play, like, you know, all the way in the main, but who knows?
Cover going out.
I like this a lot. I like this a lot. Like how he plays that smoke. It's not the best smoke ever, it's, you know, whatever. He was looking at the minimap while placing it. I like this level of awareness. And I like that his general mechanics of using utility is not bad. Solid, solid.
Damn.
Knocked him. Hawk out. Placing swamp grenade. One enemy remaining.
Window. Last one flat.
Carrier is dead.
Yeah, he's tree.
Spike down A.
Okay. In this 2v1 scenario here, like, we have two options. Closing the doors, picking up the orb in Omen, and picking up the spike with the ultimate. Option number 2, fight together with the Killjoy and kill the Reyna together.
30 seconds left.
I would probably opt in for the pacifist option. closing the doors, picking up the orb in aiming, resetting my ultimate, I mean getting my ultimate, and just picking up the spike with the ultimate. You have time, plenty of time for all of this.
Placing swarm grenade. Swarm grenade out. I got the spike.
She's probably on the rafters. On site, on site.
Last player standing. Spike down.
Yeah. I mean, when you didn't see the Reyna there, you should have pre-assumed that she's on site. And also, like, sometimes, when you have this type of information, you should yell at your teammates. You know, if you're at least 80 or 90% certain that enemies went for some kind of a play, you should give a call out. At the end of the day, like, additional safety is never bad. I don't know, like, I just feel that, you know, in this elo, pacifist plays are much better than going for risky plays.
Oh,
That's true.
dude.
It's like kind of 40 or something.
Here for like 10-ish.
Okay, 4 rounds have passed. What did we learn about the enemies? They're playing super passively, they're not aggressing us in the main areas of the map, and thus we don't really need to use any utility to clear A main and B main. Which is a huge mistake when you play defensive Ascent. Second thing that we learned is that Deadlock and Clove are playing B side, mainly. And only Jet, Brimstone, and KO are defending A side. Third thing that we learned is that KO drops a knife for the A main after 5 or 6 seconds before the round starts. So we need to dodge the knife. So based on all of this information, A side is free. They only have 1 Brimstone Molotov to deny your push. Now why only, like, why, what's about the KO Molotov? KO usually played around the market and mid. So he was not actually playing like A short. A short was like usually Reyna or Brimstone. So as long as the enemies are like, that's why reading the enemies in the first 4 rounds is very important. You need to get this information so you can make the right play in the round number 5, 6, and 6th as well. So here pushing B side, it can sorry guys. So here pushing the B side is kind of pointless because we're just gonna get stalled, pushed back. God knows what our teammates are gonna do. Also, there's one more thing that we noticed. Deadlock is playing the Ares or Odin. So there is a huge chance that this Deadlock will try to spam us through the B main area of the map. Whenever you notice that enemies are using these high penetration weapons that can spam you through the B main area of the map, buy it yourself. You know, buy Odin. In this round, I would actually buy the Odin. Just based on the fact that enemy Deadlock used the Ares in the last 2 rounds. And if she tried to spam this, spam her back, get her out of the server, push in.
Seconds, because we've been jumping the gun here. Maybe get an early rotate here. Oh, she fucked it.
Oh,
They picked up Deadlock.
What the fuck is
Wait,
Deadlock?
yeah. Just
Okay, sound sensor is close.
You're gonna have to walk through.
That Deadlock wall is crazy, man.
do you think?
Walk!
Fuck.
Listen, when you're pathing through an area of the map, like, mimic your teammates. Like, right now, you're nowhere near close to refig your Viper. Whenever I'm taking the fights with my allies, like, yes, I do ask myself, you know, where are the enemies, where should I expect them, and you know, like, how should I engage the enemies? But main thing that I focus on is, like, how my teammates are pathing. Which angle should I hold? Or, how close should I be compared to my allies in order to refrag them? Because here Viper can die and refrag potential is over. If she dies from the B main, enemy Deadlock or whoever can just go back, you know, onto the site and we lose numbers. McFood, well soon, baby.
I imagine she saw. Okay. I'd say we push now. I'm gonna flash. Get ready.
Bro!
Do you think she knows her shields?
Sound sensor. Lock wall.
Wait, yeah. Just
Sound sensor.
The guy even said sound sensor. And you even heard that the deadlock did it here. Or here. What the fuck are we doing? No, if you die because of this,
Imagine she saw. Okay. Let's say we.
what is this like? Is this Finding the Nemo, man? Is every low elo player like a Dory brothers, like Alzheimer?
I'm gonna flash. Get ready.
Shadows.
Okay, at least we didn't die yet.
Just rotate. I'll stay back for a moment.
kind of don't like throwing.
Yeah, I kind of thought. Let's rotate through middle to B.
Let's rotate through middle to be like, that's not a rotation, that's a push. Listen, whenever one enemy is very close to you and you have a paranoia, and you or your teammates are gonna engage that enemy, use a paranoia. Like here, I would definitely flash the living crap out of this guy that is in the market. It's always better for you to be safe rather than sorry. And, you know, we have one rule with Jet. And that rule is like, every single time when you die without using your dash ability, it is the moment of time when you could have done something better. You could have pre-activated your dash ability, for an example, and get the fuck away. With Omen, you know, every single time when you die in a fight where you could have used a paranoia to engage an enemy, or you could have outplayed the enemies with your utility, is the moment of time when you could have done something better. So, it's kind of pointless to say paranoia here if you already know that an enemy is really, really close. But the Jet is just a Dr. Doom, brother. Like a very good play by her.
Wow.
Okay, so based on the previous rounds, what we know is that Brimstone is the A side player, Deadlock is B side, so in this 5v2 situation, it really doesn't matter if we end up A or we end up B, as long as we fight together.
Going out.
Good smoke for the CT. Deadlock can be on the site or CT.
30 seconds left.
Coming from catwalk. Probably
Okay,
good.
solid. Okay, sure, fine, not bad. And one of your main postman positions, when you're playing postman on B side of Ascent, passively, should be this. And every single player in Valorant should learn how to outmaneuver the enemies through this position. Essentially, you can hide from the enemies in Speedway, kill these guys. You can hold the Speedway from this off angle, kill the enemies there. You can hold the stairs from this spot, or kill the enemies here and then kill the enemies in the Speedway. This should be your main post plant. In the boathouse, only play if you have a close range weapon, or I don't know, like if you really need to play in the boathouse for some reason. And once again, you know, why you're dying is just crosshair placement. Like, write down this rule somewhere on the monitor screen, like, practice this topic. You know, practice it. Like, your crosshair should always be placed on the most probable angle from which enemies can kill you at that moment of time. Look at the minimap, ask yourself, what is the most probable angle, and place your crosshair there. You know, protect your poo-poo hole, man. Personally, like, you know, I don't like sticking stuff in my asshole. I mean, I never tried it. Maybe I would have liked. Who knows? Like,
Nice.
Nice.
okay.
No clue.
I mean, drink something. Now we're pushing A side. Is that a good game decision? Sure. I mean, in this match, team play is working for us. Executes are working. So, in a game of Valorant, as long as your executes are working, team play is working, like, sure. Like, that's the easiest way to win the rounds and win the matches on the attacker's side. Like, if enemies don't have a response to your team play, keep doing what's working for you. Oh, there's no way we're missing. After this VOD review, go in a custom match for 30 minutes. Just practice this jump. And practice how to do it without making a sound. Before you jump, so you run, you do a silent step, jump, shift jump, and get up there. Practice it, dial it in, like looks at some YouTube guys, YouTube videos, like if I'm explaining it in a way too complicated way, like just, yo, silently get up here. Like that's bad, that's also bad. That was almost good. You know, spend 30 minutes, as much as you need, to get this dialed in. Sorry guys, I was on vacation for 26 days, like, I don't know how to hold mouse and keyboard right now. But to be honest, I feel amazing. 26 days without playing Valorant. I need to repeat it again.
My ultimate is ready.
Listen. When you're pathing through an area of the map, really try to avoid holding the common angles or pathing in the most common way possible. What do I mean by that? So here, for example, holding this angle is a bit bad because enemies can peek us at any moment of time from the aim area of the map, and a good player in Valorant should place his crosshair here and just pre-fire you. Like if I'm pathing through the aim area of the map, I want to end up here as soon as possible and then move forward. Or I want to get up here, wait until my teammates are in this line, protect them from this position, and then drop down and do some kind of an execute. If you're pushing Haven, you know, C-set for an example, like you don't want to push like this or push like this. What you want to do is like get into this cubby position as soon as possible and then move like this, so that enemies cannot spam us through the smoke or catch us, you know, with some kind of a jiggle pick timing, you know. At least we avoid a bit of the timing in this area of the map. Like holding this angle here is like, eh,
We just rotate.
a bit risky, bro.
Yeah,
They molly.
Oh, why the fuck would we rotate? Like, why are we rotating so much? Molotov lasts for like 7 seconds, I think. I'm not sure, but whatever. Like, it's a Molotov. It's not a wall. It's not a cipher setup. It's not, I don't know, Jesus el Christos down there. Like, that area of the map is still open. The shop is open. Like, wait for the smoke to go down. Wait for the Molotov to go down, to disappear. Killjoy plans the ultimate, we push 8. That's it. Why would we rotate? Because also another rule that I recommend you to follow in these low elo lobbies. Doing enormous amount of unnecessary over rotations on the attacker side is mega bad. Why? Because every single rotation on the attacker side in this elo holds a certain level of uncertainty that your teammates might die. You never know what type of utility usage your teammates are gonna have on the opposite part of the map. You never know, like, if you know, your teammates are gonna have a proper distance between each other to play a proper refray game. So here, there's no reason to rotate. Cut the noise for around like 15-20 seconds. Wait for the Molotov to go down. Wait for the smoke to go down. I see the site. Plus, we know that the Deadlock is playing on B-side with the Ares Odin with her full setup. Like, yikes! Like, I don't want to push there.
That's alright. Big waste of you, Tony.
Cover going out.
That smoke there, I don't understand. You need to explain it to me, like, through the private messages, because your, you know, Jet was there. Smoking short here would be okay. Okay. Not really the best play ever, but okay.
Viper, use your wall for sight.
Viper, use your wall for sight. This is what we get, like. What the fuck, bro? Like, unbelievable. I mean, Viper is shit on Ascent. Period. But, you know, what Viper should have done is just run into the market as fast as fucking possible. You know? Put a poison cloud here. Put this wall. Like this. I don't want to give the enemies, like, all of this space to fuck me up. To peek me from this angle, this angle, this angle, to pop flash me, like, come on, man.
What is she doing?
My turn.
Okay.
What is she?
Okay, another tip I need to give you. When you're doing the splits on the bomb sites, always try to play with a spike carrier, and with Omen, mainly try to move with a group of allies that are higher in numbers, that have the spike, and that are moving through the A main and B main area of the map. Because your executes are mega clean, you know, through the main areas of the maps, while on Ascent, like when you're moving through market, you don't really have any outplays, anything. Like, there's nothing. You just take the fights, use the shrouded steps as a repositioning tool, and that's it. So here, instead of me going with my jet, I would just move with my teammates through the B main. Why would I take this risk? You know, dying in some kind of a stupid crossfire, or like fighting the enemies on the site in the CT everywhere. No reason. Especially once the Viper killed, you know, this Clove. Fuck it. Use your ultimate, reposition towards the B main, play with your teammates in main. But also, like, I mean, here, we're moving way too slow towards the B side. I mean, enemies know that we're going B, because Jet just got a kill on KO.
What is she doing?
Why in the living hell are we walking in the market right now and waiting for the enemies from A side to rotate and support the enemies on B? Enemies know what we're doing. Our teammates in B main are making footsteps. Claw saw the spike on mid moving towards the B side. Jet killed an enemy here in the CT. I know we're gonna move through the market, go through the B main, go through the spawn, and end up on A side. Come on, man. You had to move a bit faster here. Like, you're spending this like crossfire for a very long period of time. You should have just pushed your jet a bit, you know. Tap her on the butt. If you have a girlfriend, don't do that. Or wife. Just tap her a bit. Tell her to go a bit faster and move. Like, make footsteps. Like, this is just way too slow. And as I said, like, there was really no reason to rotate here at all. Like, we could have just reheated the A side. It would have been 10 times more simple, 10 times more effective, 10 times easier round. Like, in one of the VOD reviews, I've explained, like, you know, 60, 70, or 80% of times, like 60 to 80% of times, when a push gets delayed or stopped, especially in low elo, 20-second rule is much better than doing anything else. Essentially, cutting the noise for 20 seconds in that main area of the map, and then after 20 seconds, reheating the bomb site. We keep all of our teammates in check. Enemies might lose focus after 20 seconds. After 20 seconds, enemies might peek us because they are undisciplined and we kill them. After 20 seconds, enemies might rotate back to their original positions. But the main thing why I would use this in low elo often is just to keep my teammates in check. So that I'm not losing my teammates' lives, you know, here, etc, etc. The only time when 20-second rule is dangerous is like in the matches where you notice that enemies like to lurk and flank a lot. If enemies like to fight for the map control aggressively, 20-second rule is pointless because, you know, they're gonna know that you're in the aiming. Then we need to fight back for some map control.
You're the goat. You're the goat.
Go. The Viper diff.
I have the Elder Plan.
Got Ion.
Up on the top.
Okay. Dodge the KO
Oh.
knife.
Sounds like he might push.
I don't know what to say about this. Like, literally, KO was doing this knife very often. Like, in the last 6 rounds, he did it like 3 or 4 times. I don't know. Dodge it. Just play a bit more passively and dodge it. Right now, when you heard the KO footsteps, and you got the information that he might push you, why are you not searching for a cover? I mean, if I'm getting ready to engage an enemy that has the flash abilities, I'm not gonna fight that enemy here. I'm instantly gonna go behind the box and jiggle pick this angle to dodge the flash and then support my allies. Who you fight, what type of abilities enemies have, depends how you should position yourself.
There's no way, dude.
Move with the sky. Move with the sky.
Oh.
Also, one more quick rule, essentially. But by the way, in this round, enemies are eco hull by 5-man A push, the best idea ever. If all of your teammates are pushing the aiming area of the map only through this position, you should always go on top. Because overstacking this spot is just pointless. Absolutely pointless. Sometimes, even if the enemies have a one-way smoke here, I go on top just to spray the enemies through the smoke based on the minimap. Because this is just overstacking. Or with Omen, what you can do is just, you know, go for a default play, you know, teleport here, and then from 2 different angles we engage the enemies. No! Okay, we managed the jump. Listen here. Whenever you lose the aiming control for a very long period of time, and generally speaking, whenever you're pushing through the aiming area of the map, always pre-assume and be aware that one enemy is maybe going to be in the vines. If I'm pushing A side, I always make sure to check the vines no matter what. Here, after the KO made the footsteps, plus he did a knife, chances of him playing in the vines, 70%. So what I would do, I would tell my Killjoy brother, can you please do an nanoswarm there to check that position. Sky, can you maybe use a flash there to scout to see if an enemy is there, or just push slowly here and try to, you know, clear the vines behind the brimstone smoke.
We can fake rotate here.
Yeah.
I like that.
Okay.
I like that.
Okay. That's actually a really good idea. That was a really fucking good call out. Now you're asking, Charlatan, why was that a good call out? But because this whole match, they were doing these rotations. You know, they push something, they get stopped, they rotate. So doing a fake rotation here is actually really fucking good. Essentially, one of the best patterns of pushing in Valorant is doing something 3 rounds in a row, and then in a 4th round, making the enemies think that we are doing the same shit. Like, the 4th round is usually the moment of time when you can fake something, you know? When you can sell some strategy tactic to the enemy team. So this is very good call out for this elo.
Man,
Sky's name is
chemistry, dude.
Sky's name is Pok Champion Goose.
They smoked
Yeah, I can
soft mid.
hold here. Everyone get ready.
I'm about to put my wall down.
3, 2, 1.
We need to check the vines. We need to check the vines. In this round, he has the same problems like as he did in the third round with this setup. Like, if you're going for this aggressive play, you know, the generator smoke should always be second. Now, why is this smoke setup and this play that he is going for right now bad? Number 1, we have a Killjoy ultimate, we don't really need to go for an aggressive play. All you need to do after the Killjoy's ultimate, you know, goes down, you know, after it detains the enemies, is this. Because all of these angles are going to be safe. The only position where enemies can be is there and here. Second reason why what he's doing right now is bad is because enemies are equal in hull buy. Whenever enemies are equal in hull buy on a defender's side, avoid the aggressive plays as much as you can. Only do them if you really need to do them. Because there's no reason to go for them and sell them for that specific round. Vines, vines, vines. Okay, thank you God.
30 seconds
Viper,
left.
you have spike. You can go for it.
Placing swamp grenade. Swamp grenade out.
Fighting for main.
What is going in this round, man? Brimstone taking a kill through the smoke with the operator. How does the Brimstone has the operator? I just killed the jet. What an unlucky round.
Grenade. Swamp grenade out.
Fighting for main.
Okay, listen here. One of the best angles that you can hold to kill the enemies that are pushing through rafters is this position here. And this should be one of the main post-plan positions that you play on a defender's in the post plans on Ascent of Ascent. Why this position works in your favor? So, when should we play this position? We should play this position when your teammates are covering the short for you. So if you have a short cover and the rafters is the only position from which enemies can kill you, we can play here. Exactly like this. Now, why is this good? First of all, nobody has a crosshair placement for this angle. Like, every single enemy is gonna peek like this, peek this, peek this, peek this. But in reality, you're standing in such an unnatural position where the only thing that enemies see is like shoulders and a bit of your head. So enemies need to micro-correct so much in order to kill you. Now, second reason why that spot is good, generally speaking in Valorant, when you're spamming an angle and trying to penetrate the enemies like through the walls, it is much easier to penetrate the angles that are above you rather that are below you. Like for example here, it is much easier for you to kill the enemy that is here, like this, or then go down and kill this guy, rather than that enemy killing you. Because of the perception, how the perception works in the game, and also because you're below the enemy. That enemy doesn't know if you moved, you know, if your body is here, here, here. Like, he needs to gamble a lot if he wants to spam you back. So this is one of the really, really good postman spots when enemies don't have that many utility for the retake of the A site. You don't think you're gonna get flashed or something like that. And when rafters is the only thing that you need to look for, that you need to keep, that you need to guard.
Reyna 7. Reyna still has
Last player standing.
Ah.
Reyna 7. Reyna still has
Okay, this is just like you have huge problems with your map awareness in general. Like we knew that those doors are opened long time ago. Your teammates are watching the rafters for you here. You know, Killjoy is playing under the rafters. But to be honest, like, you know, Viper was watching the short for him. But the problem is, like, you know, if you want to engage the enemies that are on the rafters or that are falling down on the site, you cannot go past the Viper's line of sight. You have a huge problem, like, in terms of your positioning based on what your teammates are doing. You know, how they're pathing, which angles they're holding. Only God knows what I'm going to see on a defender's side. A defense is probably going to be hell of a time. Because that skill set is very important on defense. Like, if my Viper is holding this line of sight, I cannot move past it. Past this position. Because then I'm going to be the first contact with the enemies. Viper cannot guard me. Viper cannot kill that enemy on short. So this is another topic that on which you need to put some time and some thoughts, like while you're playing the games. Because already a few times you died because of this. Why am I getting angry like? It's okay.
Kale.
Thank you. I can hold.
Mine. Thank you.
Pushing B set in this round. I don't know. I mean, that A set push was quite easy. You know, the reason why we lost that round was not really because our execute was bad. We just played a bit. We just played a really poor post plant, and to be honest, like that round was mega lucky for the enemies. Brimstone got a kill on Jet in short with a ghost. Jet made a misplay there. I don't know why the fuck is Jet playing alone this whole match. And then Brimstone got a lucky kill through the smoke with the operator, with a one shot. When some round like this happens to me, I just write it off like a luck. And I'm never gonna be afraid to try the same shit in the next round again. Like here, pushing B is kind of like way too predictable and mega, you know, unnecessary. Like here it works like a charm. Enemies are not fighting aggressively for the aim and control. Only Brimstone is playing there. We wait for his Molotov to go down, execute a sight. What are they gonna do, you know? But B pushes were very scuffed, and plus enemies are playing these Odins and Ares, and we need to be very careful how we're pathing through this area of the map. We need to wait here for the spam, behind the cover, and then move in. Okay. We didn't die.
Cover going out.
Fuck.
Grim gave up to someone else.
Blinding.
Grim was on catwalk.
You are powerless.
One boathouse,
Oh, what the fuck?
Listen, I don't care, like, a lot of the mistakes in this round. So, let's talk one step at a time. Here, we're pushing B side. Okay, we have the Sky ultimate. We don't need to pick the enemies. Good. Smoke setup. Absolutely good. Here, when you're pathing into the B site, mainly prioritize pathing through the speedway. Because it is a lot easier, especially, you know, going alone through the stairs might be a bit risky if you don't have anyone to guard you the CT peak. Because you're always in some kind of a crossfire where you can die from the boathouse, bomb site, and CT. Like, very rarely, almost never, I go alone through the stairs. Why would I do that? Mainly, focus on pushing the B site through the speedway. Then, when you're getting on the site, always clear the boathouse before you do anything else. It needs to be cleared. Don't trust your teammates with it. Check every single position where the enemies can be. And then when everything is cleared and we know the site is free, focus on aggressing the enemies, or focus on the enemies that are playing the retake. And focus on planting the spike. Like here, you know, we saw the deadlock. We saw that deadlock on the minimap. We saw the deadlock is on the stairs.
Grim gave up to someone else.
We did a paranoia for the deadlock. We know deadlock is on site. What are you doing? And what I would do in this situation, okay, I ended up at the stairs. One enemy is on the site. I don't trust my teammates with dealing with that enemy. Especially not in low elo. I'm moving in like this, hiding myself from the CT peak, and, you know, waiting for my allies. But I'm closing the gap with the deadlock slowly, so that when my teammates are close, I can just go for a refrag potential and kill that deadlock. Or just make a sandwich of the deadlock without losing a single ally in my team.
Grim was on catwalk.
And this was such a stupid round to lose. And also, like, I don't know, I feel like we have an Alzheimer, like literally. Not only you, like the whole team. We saw the deadlock at the stairs, like, look, where the fuck is she gonna be if not the backside? We cleared everything. Like, how are you focusing yourself on the stairs when deadlock is backside? Fuck it, like you kill the deadlock and then focus on
Oh.
rest of the enemy team.
Fuck.
Hey, careful. Okay, this is easy win, right? So, I mean, like, here, like, listen. First of all, as soon as the spike was dropped, and we ended up in a 2v3 scenario, you should have done a one-way smoke, either on the speedway or here, to pick up the spike. And just to isolate one angle. Like, we have great one-way smokes, essentially, here and here, that I'm gonna showcase you later, to essentially completely deny the enemy's peek and enemy's push. Then, Killjoy's on the site. You're getting smoked. What do? You come close in the smoke, so once the Killjoy picks a fight, you're able to refrag her and help her out. We're not sitting in the smoke and baiting we're not baiting the shit out of this guy. We don't want her to die.
Last player standing.
One on.
One enemy remaining.
He is out.
Once you
Standing.
One on.
Once you survive this, like, you should have bought 10 lottery tickets, and that's it. Like, what, you know that Reyna, you just need to think more, like, about your overall utility, and especially about the ultimate as well, and what type of plays you can do with the ultimate. I feel that you're not underusing your ultimate in a lot of these rounds. You're saving it for some perfect moment of time, and there's a lot of perfect moments of times when we could have used the ultimate right here. I'm in a 1v1 fight. Reyna is in front of me. Spike is on the right side. She missed an op shot. Pick out the knife, get the spike, teleport on A, get ready for the post plant. We can close the doors, you know, on A short, aggress the Reyna on rafters, plant the spike. Plant the spike, just a second, where is the spike? Plant the spike in open, somewhere here, where we can do the one-way from the tower, and that's it. Like, why would you ever force such a pointless 1v1 fight? I mean, when you force this type of fights, you're just gambling that enemies are less mechanically skilled than you. But you never need to do these type of gambles with Omen. As long as you have shrouded steps, paranoia, smokes, you can always outplay the enemies in some kind of a way.
Enemy remaining.
He is out.
This was such an unnecessary 1v1 fight. Like essentially 90% of 1v1 fights that players force are kind of pointless. You know. Not really 1v1, like 50-50 gunfights. Like 50-50 gunfights is something that you should always try to avoid. And you fight them only as a last resort, if you really need to fight them. But there's so many different ways how you can create these fights to work in your favor, if you just turn your brain, use your utility, and better positioning.
And hit. Yeah.
At least
Okay.
one.
Just a second, guys, like, you know, Valorant servers, like, how they say, like, indie game developers, just to... We're finally back in the game. Let's move into the next round. By the way, the smokes that I was talking about, you know, the one-way smokes for the B-set post plant. Basically, this one-way here is amazing to stop the enemies push through the stairs and to F them up. And of course, we can do this one-way up here that denies the enemies to pick us from the speedway. Bab up, bab up, bab up. A lot of bab ups, as per usual.
Stay main here, and then the rest of us go through middle.
They're gonna have
Ooh, going mid in an eco round and splitting Ascent in an eco round. Not the best idea on Ascent. Why? Because How the hell am I gonna push mid with a Stinger? I mean, yes, we have this Viper wall. I don't know about this, Chief. Like, if I'm playing an eco round on Ascent, I'm either defaulting and searching for the picks, or I'm calling for the 5-man push on A and B. That's, especially in low elo, that's your best bet. Now, this buy option that he did doesn't exist. Like, you're never playing a Stinger without at least a light shield. It's not worth it. If you already want to buy a Stinger without a shield, just buy a Sheriff. Buy a Sheriff. Like, Stinger, I only play with either light or heavy. It's not worth it otherwise.
There's one right here.
One of the main things that you need to pay attention on is how you path with your teammates, man. Like, your positioning compared to your allies is abysmal. Always don't get collated. Get ready to refrag them. Like, why are we all moving in one line of sight? You're waiting for the enemy Reyna to peek you with Operator and kill all 5 of you with 1 bullet? Come on. Come on. Severfield, thank you for tier 1 sub. Watch all of these VOD reviews live on stream, man. Like, come on, yeah? Crosshair placement? Yeah. I mean, we are going to castrate this Brimstone, but I don't know if you're gonna kill him. Castration 100%.
Close mid.
Cover going out.
Now listen, you know, generally speaking, I didn't see that many teleports from you, and I didn't see that many situations on the attacker side. But always remember that, you know, your teleports are not only the tool to reach a specific area of the map. It is a tool to actually play with the enemy's mind. So a lot of the times, you know, like Omen's Shrouded Steps. It has like 5-6 different purposes, you know. Purpose number 1, repositioning and taking the space. Purpose number 2, faking the repositioning. Essentially doing the fake Shrouded Steps, or the clone, how people like to, you know, say it on the same spot, and then going for a swing. Third purpose is like, you know, you're smoked at some choke point, you want to swing out, get the information. Information gathering tool. Like, just do this, scout the enemies, and now you get a good grasp and a good idea where are the enemies, and where you can go, where you cannot go, and where your crosser should be as you're swinging that area of the map. And there's many more. Like, these are just some of the Omen TP usages that I've explained in my ranked playbook on my Discord server. Like, don't use them only as, you know, traveling tool, like for the executes or repositioning. Here, like, I mean, if you want to swing this, sure, like, you get the information with a with your Shrouded Steps and go out.
135.
You know, swinging this out in this way was mega risky. Like, especially how they did it. Because enemies have a smoke here. Enemies can easily be in this type of a setup. You know, one guy here, one guy here. And both Viper and my friend Omen, what they did, they pushed this smoke sideways. And no one checked the possibility that an enemy can be close to the smoke in these 2 positions. Mega risky. Without any recon ability.
Alright, go on.
This is just a, you know, mechanical problem, and the flick was terrible. Like, we're gonna work on this gunplay with some kind of a training. Like, after this VOD review, I'm gonna watch the VOD one more time, and based on your core mechanical problems, I'm gonna recommend you some kind of an aim training routine for like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 months. We'll see.
135.
Castration successful.
Yeah, cool.
Okay, we actually won this round, surprisingly.
Stay alive, Sabine.
Stay alive, Sabine.
KO here. Has been holding this.
Okay, I mean, we don't want to dodge the KO knife. But can we at least destroy it? That's another tip I can give you. In low elo lobbies, never pre-assume that your teammates are going to destroy the enemy's utility. If you don't do it, chances are 70 or 80% that your teammates are not going to do it. So if you see the KO knife, Reyna flash, Sova drone, shoot it yourself.
Placing sentry.
And once again here what I will do is 20-second rule. Enemies were never pushing behind us. They were never taking space behind us. They were never aggressing us. Let's cut the noise for 20 seconds and re-hit the site. in low elo lobbies, people don't shoot KO knives at all. I mean, whenever I coach a bronze or silver player, they don't know that they can actually shoot the knife, you know, or they forget, yeah.
Until
So that's why you need to do it.
We
Like,
just want to wait and then push.
Yeah, we could. But
Yeah.
you have people that hold hard back. Or hard back.
That's true. They shield. They walled it.
but the guy that really goes on my nerves in this VOD review is our fucking Jet. Jet never played a single execute with us. Why do you pick a duelist? To lurk and flank? Pick a Cypher, I don't know, like kill... Whatever. Chamber. What the fuck, bro?
Gonna fake it.
What do you define as low elo? Iron 1 to Diamond 3. But this is really, you know, but there's also a differences between, you know, a low elo and high low elo. You know, like low elo is like iron, bronze, silver. Then like medium low elo is like gold, platinum, and high low elo is like diamond. Oh,
Heard someone start running as well.
is that a guy there?
It's because they heard it too.
we break it.
Is that
As well.
what's that? Ah, that's from the
'Cause they heard it too.
wall.
We break it.
Jet, you might have one coming catwalk.
Yeah, let's break it and then go.
Move in, drop down. He stayed on this position way too long, man. So, you know, when you play up on this spot, as soon as your teammates cross this line, this specific line that I drew right now, drop down, support them. You need to.
Yeah, no one's here.
What are you doing? You're so
Okay, just
sketchy.
threw that knife here.
All right, let's go. Let's go. Let's go.
One out.
Cover going
One
out.
catwalk side.
Yo, tell your friend, Viper is his duo. This wall is terrible, man. Like, if you're already playing Omen and Viper, let the Omen just do you know, everything. Like, this wall just gives so much space to the enemy team to outmaneuver you, pop flash you, fuck you up, like, terrible wall. Terrible wall for A side. I mean, generally on Ascent, you know, every wall is terrible, like, when you're executing the sites, like, except maybe, you know, just doing this. This is okay, like, essentially, you know, covering this part of the tower. This is okay wall combined maybe with the poison cloud here. That's a okay setup. When you're pushing B, just, you know, send a straight wall. I'm losing my voice. Losing my voice. Send a straight wall like this, poison cloud, and that's it.
Closing tree.
Spike down A. 30 seconds left.
One of them's tree.
Yeah, dude, it's tight.
I had spike. I got Brim ult.
Imagine saying low, medium, low, high, low. Basically, the majority of the player base is low by that. LOL. The elos are not defined based on like how many players are in specific elo. Elos are defined based on what players are mainly missing, like which skill sets they're missing in a specific rank groups. All of the players between Iron 1 and Diamond 3 need to primarily work on their game knowledge, decision making, team play, and mechanical skill. Like these 4 skill sets, they need to be polished out. If you want to even be considered anywhere close medium elo, essentially Ascendant and Immortal, and they need to be on that level. Like every single person that I coach below Ascendant 1, those are the 4 main things that they're missing. And 4 main things that I focus on. When we move into Ascendant and Immortal, I mean, yes, some players reach Ascendant and Immortal with a terrible game knowledge and terrible decision making and mechanical skill, but if you want to reach, you know, if you want to go past Ascendant and Immortal, these 4 skill sets need to be polished out, and then adaptiveness comes in as well.
I was in dog.
How did our teammates die here? Like, what even happened in this round?
You're so
Yeah, let's
sketchy.
do that nitro.
Alright, let's go. Let's go. Let's go.
This guy died alone.
At one turn.
Why did the killjoy even go there? Oh, this guy died from the ultimate.
Closing tree.
I was in
Spike
dog.
down.
There's really nothing better you could have done in this round. Like, all of your team has died in some stupid 1v1 fights. Like, and yeah, nothing. Nothing.
30 seconds left.
One of them's tree.
Yeah, dude, it's okay.
I had spike. I got brim ulted. I was in dog.
Last player
Fuck.
standing.
One more.
Listen, one thing that you need to start doing with Omen a bit more is like, you know, you're trying to do the executes. You're trying to like be aggressive. Like your setups are okay. You know, sometimes you do them when you should not do them. Stop. Like, it's gonna come over with time. Like one thing that you're mainly missing with Omen is outplaying enemies with your utility in the middle of the rounds and at the ending of the rounds, and you're never doing that. Here as well, you have a smoke, paranoia, and shrouded steps. You hear 3 enemies on the rafters, and you decide to go for a dry peek. Use paranoia at least. Flash at least 1 or 2 enemies and isolate 1 enemy in a fight. Use a smoke as a cover to isolate the fights with the enemies, you know. I don't know. Do some kind of a smoke like this. Use a paranoia on the right side. Isolate this fight. You know? Then we can do fake shrouded steps. Isolate another fight. Like, you need to fight more with your utility in mid rounds and ending of the rounds, because you kind of forget about it. Like, I never saw you use your utility to outplay an enemy or to isolate the fights that work in your favor. Once you complete some kind of an execute, once you know, like, we complete some things that are set in stone, essentially. Your adaptiveness in mid rounds and end rounds is bad, and that's another thing that I would mainly focus if I was you. Like, another thing that you can put on your, you know, checklist, improvement list, essentially. Like, and something that you should actually think about. You're missing that part of the Omen, mainly on the attacker side, like, in those type of situations. I mean, swinging this was like just like a Sudoku move. Absolute Sudoku.
Last player
He heard all 3 of them there.
Fuck,
standing.
dude.
2v. Just go.
Like,
Wait, well, no,
and we
can
then we
waste
can't
it,
even
and
throw
then
like
you
you
can,
till.
you slowly push B mid.
I can't hear. What is
Do
it?
that.
Sounds good.
Once again, like, we didn't lose this round because our execute was bad or enemies are good. Like, we just lost this round because Jet is playing alone. Killjoy died alone in mid. And our Sky, unluckily, is that even a word? Died from the Brimstone ultimate. Unfortunately, she died from the Brimstone ultimate in the A main. I will still push Ascent in this round. It's far more unpredictable. Executes are working for us. Just, you know, I don't know. Tell your Jet, brother, I'm gonna buy you $100 Valorant points if you just play together with us this match. Killjoy, don't go top mid. We said we're cutting the noise and we're pushing the A side. I'm gonna buy you as well a fucking Bugatti if you come with me. Be persuasive, talk more, repeat the stuff. A lot of the times in this elo, like, players get the information in one ear, and then that information goes from, you know, to another ear. And they don't register information in real time. Be annoying, essentially. If you already want to do if already something works for us. I mean, we lost this post plans not because enemies are good. We just don't have numbers to play them. Like, and of course our positioning can be a bit better.
They're faking A. We're gonna push
I need
B.
to turn you down. You're way too loud for me.
Sorry.
Turret out.
Don't peek that. You have bomb.
Viper, can you drop me spike?
I got the spike.
Shadows traveling.
Reload.
As I was saying earlier on, like, this Viper wall is terrible. Like, if you're playing in a double controller setup, tell your Viper duo to not use this wall. It is much better if you just have, you know, your own smokes, and then Viper do some, you know, improvised walls later on in the post plant or something like that. Like, she can maybe do this type of wall, like, I don't know, like, that, you know, just cover this, like, this wall is mega dangerous. Mega giga dangerous. Like, enemies can peek us from so many different horizontal lines. They can catch us off guard in so many different ways, make a sandwich out of us. KO can pop flash me, Reyna can pop flash me, kill me, like... this wall is maybe okay if you're playing some kind of an eco halberd round. And you're pushing the B side. You know, you're pushing in with the stingers, with the shorties, with stuff like that. But even then, it can be quite risky. So in this round, it's okay. I mean, like, it's an eco round for us, and, you know, it's a okay wall, but generally speaking, like, too many opportunities presented to the enemy team. And we talked about this. You know, why this play is bad that you're doing right now in the previous rounds. And always remember that when you're playing Omen, and when you're going for the aggressive plays, your aggressive smoke should be second.
Viper,
Not the first one.
I don't
So that enemies don't have time to get ready for your play.
I hear one CT.
Same as in a second round of this match, I don't think that this was worth it. Especially considering how poorly your team has played the trading game. And a lot of the times your teammates are just dying in a 1v1 fights. Even though, you know, what he did here is somewhat okay. Because this is still an eco round, halberd round, and I would try myself to trade. I would try to trade myself for as many kills as possible and get any opportunity to fuck up some enemies. I mean, we have the full side control. All three of our teammates are playing passively. Thus, playing this aggro is mega risky and unnecessary. Like, what I would have done in this round is simply, you know, we took the side control. We got a kill on site. We killed the deadlock. I would just play here. You know, wait for the enemies to push the speedway. Try to fuck them up as they're pressing the W key. Kill one guy. And then, you know, I can maybe create some kind of a smoke setup like this. Play inside of the smoke. Fuck one more guy up. Enemies are pushing the speedway. Paranoia. Bab. Another guy out of the server. And play a replay game with my allies. Here, like, you're not dying. And you're taking one kill. Only because enemies have bad angle clearing. And poor utility usage. If I was this KO, I would pop flash you, kill you, swing, like, there's a terrible spot to be at when you don't have teammates to support you. Like, if I don't have anyone, like, if all of my teammates are playing here, on site, I'm playing on site as well. If one of my teammates is playing front site, I'm playing front site as well and trying to support that teammate. Most plans you play as aggressive as your teammates want to play. And you're trying to support them. And also, like, you know, depending which guns you have as well. Because you cannot fight every single fight.
81 on K.
You see, if you actually played a bit more passively, if you actually valued your life a bit more, and if you actually focus more on the refrag game with your allies, maybe we would have won this round. Like, even though you put your teammates in a 4v3 scenario, I'm telling you, man, like, in this low elo, every single time when you're not alive to win a round, you're just gambling. After this VOD review, another thing I'm gonna share with you is, like, some private coaching videos that I have that are fully gonna explain how you should play the team play game of Valorant, and what is an actual ranked team play game that you need to apply if you want to have higher chances of winning the rounds and winning the matches.
Enemy spotted.
Right.
You need to value your life a bit more. Period.
You'll pop your ult, Sky, and then we'll just...
Okay, and the last round. Let's see how this goes. Oh, we destroyed the knife. Progress.
Spotted A. That's done. Here.
Be a bit faster when you're supporting your teammates up here, you know. Start jumping.
Reload my ult ready. Reloading.
Hard right there.
Now's the time to fuck off.
There was absolutely zero reason to rotate here. We have a Killjoy ultimate, we have the man advantage on A. Here I would just push the A set fast, but okay, I mean, if your teammates want to do some kind of a stupid play like this, you need to support them. And you should have started running with your spike carrier 5 seconds ago.
Yeah, it's still hanging back.
It's alright. He's been getting kills while he does it.
Oh, this Jet is gonna give me... Stage 4, man. Stage 4.
Found one.
Cover going out. Cover going out.
There's another. Placing alarm bomb.
Okay.
Reloading.
I hope we will remember that Deadlock plays the B set usually, and that we're gonna clear the boathouse this time. Okay. We cleared the boathouse.
106.
As I said, like, one of your main postman positions on the B set of Ascent should be on top of these boxes, and you should learn how to, you know, outmaneuver the enemies and hold the angles on top of them. We explained that earlier.
Turret out. Found them. Alarm bot down. Careful. Reloading. Initiated. Turret down.
But okay, I mean, with this Viper ultimate, to be honest, we can only play the backside. Like, playing anywhere else in this Viper ult is mega risky, man. It's okay what he's doing right now.
One enemy remaining. Area's clear.
Okay.
Nice.
Okay.
Grenade.
Okay. I mean, this one was, you know, slightly above average, like, nothing really to talk about. Overall, on attacker side, you know, there's a lot of things that you can fix in your gameplay. You can also navigate your teammates a bit better on macro and micro level. Your team play game needs to be a bit better. Like, your overall positioning, playing with your allies, mid-round and utility usage as well. Like, you forget about your utility especially the postplants. Like, I never saw you use a single piece of utility in postplants. Maybe one-way smoke, and that's it. You need to value your life a bit more. You don't always want to go for the aggressive outplays, an aggressive place with Omen. Based on your economy, enemy's economy, based on, you know, how good or how bad your teammates are, depends if you want to play aggressive or passive. And crosshair placement, obviously, we talked about that as well. And one thing that I'm surprised, like, you know, your default smoke setups are okay, good. Your utility usage is very natural, to be honest. For a silver player, it's not bad. Like, you think fast, not fast enough, but I've seen some silver players that are like, you know, they have Parkinson's disease, like, when they're using Omen utility. Like, I really think that this agent suits you. And in a long run, once you invest at least like 300, 400 hours into Omen, this is a great pick for you. I think that this is really good. Really good. Even though you are making a lot of mistakes, all of these mistakes are easily fixable with some kind of a training that I'm gonna give you, obviously. And let's see now. What's the problem on defense? Because on defense you have like 48% win rate only in terms of the rounds. And you said that on defense you suffer, but I don't know. Playing Omen on defense is a lot easier than playing him on attack. Like, there's so many... I mean, yeah, on both attack and defense you can do a lot of plays, but on defense we have so many cheesy plays. How we can get the kills is just stupid. Okay, let's move on to defender side right now. Okay, now let's move on to the defender side of Ascent. TLDR, your default bomb site on this map is A site. Number 2 priority, B site, but you don't give a living damn thing, like you don't give a crap about defending A site and B site. Now, when I say you don't give a crap, that doesn't mean that you should sell the bomb sites for nothing. Just on this map, like, value the team play over the bomb site controls. Like, your job is to delay the enemy's push a bit, make them waste as much utility as possible that they're not gonna have for the post plant. Try to potentially get, you know, 1, 2, 3 kills, and then stay alive and play together with your allies. Fighting for the map control alone is just stupid. 5v5 retakes on this map are piece of cake because of the map design and the bomb set design. And your absolute highest priorities on this map is keeping the information and control of market and A short, especially the A short area of the map. If enemies take garden, round becomes mega complicated. Enemies have a lot more openings and a lot more pressure, thus it's not worth it to sell it. Like, for market and short, I am willing to die. I am willing to try to stop the enemies, but A sites and B sites I will always sell in ranked solo queue. If I cannot stop the enemies, if I cannot take any kills, stay alive, play with your teammates. And of course, playing passively on a defender side of this map is another stupid thing. Like on Ascent, in every round, you know, after the first full buy round, you know, from the first full buy round, you should be aggressing the enemies in B main, mid, or A main area of the map. Like, we should be denying some map control from the enemies, making them waste more utility, and potentially effing them up with some kind of a setup here, here, or here. And thankfully, you're playing Omen, and one benefit of playing Omen in ranked solo queue on Ascent on a defender side is that you control everything. Like, no matter for what type of a peak, for what type of a play your teammates are going, you can always support them, even if you're playing on the opposite part of the map. Essentially, with Omen, like, at the start of the round, you should always be supporting either yourself or your teammates with some kind of a smoke. And just, you know, the first 5 seconds, the last 5 seconds of a preparation phase, your eyes should be glued to the minimap. And just observing what your teammates are, you know, doing. Like, you're playing B side passively, your teammates are taking A main control, give them the one-way smoke. Just a second, sorry. Give them the one-way smoke. Your teammates are peeking A short into the tiles. You think they're gonna die, or you wanna support them. Give them the one-way smoke on tiles, like this, and that's it. Your teammates are peeking bottom mid into the top mid, right here. You think they're gonna die, or they're gonna get, you know, in some kind of crossfire from tiles and from the, you know, top mid, give your teammates the one-way smoke up here. This is the only red line smoke, you know, red outline smoke that works. I have no idea why the red triangle smoke works here. And your teammates are, you know, aggressive in the B main. They're fighting for the full B main control. Give them the one-way smoke up here. And essentially, they have the full B main control. With a lot of these smokes, you know, we can change them so we can outplay the enemies again, like ourselves, you know. Like, for example, in the B main. Instead of, you know, this is a regular one-way that I've just showcased. But if you put this one-way all the way to the left side here, you create a zero-way smoke, essentially. Like, I mean, basically, it looks like a one-way, but actually, you know, enemies have no idea why are you placing this smoke. And this smoke we can use maybe in some eco halberd rounds when we think enemies are gonna push B to outmaneuver them around this circle all the way up here. Enemies don't see your legs at all, as long as you're standing like this. And then when enemies are moving in, you can just pop out with a Bucky, Judge, Stinger, Shorty, trade yourself for like 1, 2, 3, 4 kills. Because anyways, when you're playing eco rounds and halberd rounds, like, you should be playing like a kamikaze. And one of your main jobs is to find some kills before your teammates find some deaths, essentially. And yeah, that's essentially your job as Omen. And everything else is just pure adaptiveness, so to say. Abusing off angles, tight angles, pixel angles, like there's various different one-way smokes that we can use to stop and delay the enemy's pushes. Like, we'll cover everything. Now, in the first round with any agent on this map, you should always start on the A site and play the A site. Gamble on A site, because A site is, statistically speaking, harder bomb set for the retake compared to the B site. And in the first round with Omen, I would always go for the classic pistol shorty play in the A main area of the map and try to kill the enemies like that. Especially in low elo, this strategy should always guarantee you at least 1 or 2 kills if executed properly. Essentially, you start the round here, buy the classic, buy the shorty, pick up the classic from the ground, so the classic is still available for us. You can buy light shield with 1 shrouded step, or you can buy 2 smokes, paranoia, and 1 shrouded step. Choice is yours. In high elo lobbies, I usually go for the without a shield. I play without a shield. In low elo, medium elo lobbies, I would actually go for the light shield. At the start of the round, pick up the shorty, and, you know, if you hear the enemies pushing A site, deploy this cubby position smoke, make it believable, so enemies don't really know whether or not you're hiding right here, and then, you know, just jiggle peek the smoke. Once the enemies go in, bop bop, kill them. What you can do then, like, is maybe TP here, maybe TP back into the enemy's smoke. Essentially, always remember that one rule, like, your job in the first round is not really to be a hero. You cannot really stop the 5-man enemy push alone. Like, it's almost impossible because we lack utility to do that, and guns, essentially. Your job is to get some kind of a cheesy kill, or cheesy kills. Stay alive and play retake with your allies. So, that's it. This cubby position smoke is very important because it allows you to dodge the enemy's utility if enemies are using the drone, and then we can swing in and kill them, and also we can dodge the random spam from the enemies. Like, if enemies are doing this, you just hide here, and you're still in the smoke and ready to kill the enemies that are moving into the smoke. You don't want to stand outside of the smoke. Now, if enemies don't make a single sound for like 6 or 7 seconds, you can preemptively throw this smoke so that enemies don't surprise you, you know. They just walk into the site. If you don't have anyone watching the choke point. And if enemies are pushing B, take a classic pistol, give your teammates a smoke for the, you know, B main, and just do a fast rotation. If enemies are splitting you through main and A short, focus on A main, kill them with a shorty, and then focus on enemies in A short. That's it. Like, let's see what our friend is gonna do and how they're gonna play the first round.
Could even peek out.
Okay, we are doing classic shorty. Listen, if you're not buying a light shield, buy the paranoia. Buy the paranoia, like, essentially, you know, one shrouded step is more than enough to outplay the enemies, to go for the retakes, and that paranoia can be a bit more useful than one additional shrouded step. Listen, if you're playing against the KO, I mean, in these low elo lobbies, like, only God knows where the KO is gonna drop a knife. I mean, I don't know who, like, what is that knife for? But if you're playing against the KO, this specific strategy, I always start a bit further away from the choke point. Because usually KO mains, what they're gonna do, they're gonna knife, aim in close, and then I walk up to the shorty, pick up the shorty, and get ready for the strat. Don't get tagged by the knife.
KO knifed, eh? They're at least
Listen, whenever you need to fine-tune your smokes, so you need to, like, be precise with them, don't move the smokes with your mouse, because this has much higher margin of error. Like, if you need to fine-tune your smokes for cubby position smokes, you want them to be precise, move your body. Always move your body. And that is how you place these smokes. Like, this just has too high of a margin of error, and, like, you know, you might miss them. It's harder.
grabbing orb, eh?
Spike
No,
down
bomb.
A. Reloading.
And when you're playing inside of this smoke, like, always jiggle in and jiggle out to dodge the potential spam of the enemies. Like, I'm not standing here like this. I'm doing this, going in and out. Silent footsteps, silent step, silent step, silent step. That's it. Don't get spammed.
I got 2. They're all there.
We need to replenish the smoke soon. Listen, especially, you know, in these earlier stages of your development as an Omen player, like, when you deploy the first smoke, this timer here tells you when that smoke is gonna disappear. Like, when this timer is around, like, 16 seconds, there's, like, 2 more seconds left until your smoke disappears. So right now, I will probably replenish this smoke so it doesn't disappear, and then F up the enemies.
Oh no, Cam.
Okay, listen
They're
here.
all there.
This is just a raw mechanical problem, tracking problem, rushing out the shots. Like, this was the easiest kill of your life. And this was not the problem with the gun, of the desync, stuff like that. Like, you were not unlucky. These mechanical problems we need to fix. Deathmatch, practice range, aim training software. But always place your classic pistol instead of the smoke. So if something like this happens to you, like I missed this KO for 2 shots, I can instantly press the drop key, and I have the classic to potentially continue fighting the enemies, or if I miss the shots, I can kill that KO. Plus, you know, classic pistol is really good in these ranges because of the stupid triple shot. Like, it's like a shotgun, essentially. Like, that's why we save the classic here. So we can pick it up once we kill one enemy, once we do these 2 shots, or if we miss them, you know, like in this example. Like, this was all you, my friend, all you. That was easy round, like, literally, like, these type of rounds you cannot lose. Like, like, first rounds are so important in Valorant for your teammates' mentality, for overall economy management, like, especially in the low elo lobbies, like, economy management is very easy to snowball because, you know, your teammates are going to be forcing, they don't really understand, like, when to buy, what to buy, stuff like that. So these type of easy rounds you cannot lose. Like, this is like the round that can decide the outcome of the whole match, essentially. My highest level of performance is usually in pistol rounds, eco rounds, and semi-buy rounds. And that's why I'm able to continuously be a Radiant player. Like, if I didn't have a high performance in those rounds, I would probably be a Hearthstone Immortal 3 for a very long period of time, because my raw mechanical skill in the full buy rounds is not really on par of top 50 Radiant players. So, having a high impact during these 3 economy rounds is mega important in Valorant. Especially if your mechanical skill is not already on a level of, you know, Radiant players and you're silver, so probably not. Like, to be honest, based on what we've seen, like, your mechanical skill is, you know, on a level of an average, like, gold, silver player. Like, you're not above these guys, you're not below them. And that is why we need to put the focus on variety in your gameplay. Like when you want to master a variety of weapons, learn how to use them, when to use them, proper utility usage, proper positioning, etc, etc. And, you know, we slowly grind our mechanical skill through some kind of a training that I'm gonna recommend you. Now, in the second round of Ascent, no matter what happens in the first round, once again, you always play A set and A short. If you win the first round, essentially like, you know, Outlaw, Light Shield, Shorty utility, or Outlaw Heavy Shield and utility, prioritize the smokes and shrouded steps, and go for an aggressive peek in A short like this, and just hold the mid. If enemies are going B, rotate B fast. If enemies are going A, try to kill them here, or simply rotate fast onto the rafters and support your teammates with the Outlaw. Outlaw on this map is really, really good. And in the second round, I will never aggress the enemies in A main, B main, or mid area of the map. I'll just play passively again. If you lose the first round, we can repeat some kind of a classic shorty play again in the A main area of the map. Like, we can maybe try the same thing. Maybe we can try the same thing in a different way. Like, instead of playing there, we play in this corner. Or what we can do is we can create a trial and smoke here. And then when enemies are moving through the smoke, we can kill them, surprise them, and that's it. If enemies are using the Sky Dog or Sova drone, you know, in this main area of the map, just dodge the drone, dodge that recon utility through the smoke, and trade yourself for as many kills as possible. In eco rounds, you should be fearless, kamikaze, and essentially the first opportunity that you get to trade yourself for 1, 2, 3 kills, take that opportunity. Like, staying alive in those rounds is not really your highest priority. Your highest priority is reducing the enemy's numbers, enemy's economy, and building up the ultimate points. That's it. Let's see what enemies are gonna do. But I mean, usually in these low elo lobbies, like, you know, 60 or 70% of times what happens is like, if enemies play the first round on A side, chances are around like 60-70% that in that second round they're gonna push you on B. But I don't know, I would still play A because A retakes are hell of a time. Not hell of a time, just like a bit harder than B. Also, another thing I want to mention, something that I didn't notice. If you want to use a rotating map where the player is centered, you need to zoom out your map a bit more. Like you don't see half of the map. I mean, half of the B site if you're playing A. And that is unacceptable, essentially. Like, I use the same map, but you see how much zoomed out my map is. The only portion of the map that I don't see is the B boathouse. But I don't need information there. Like, I mean, the main information that I need is the choke point, speedway, stairs, and the switch. So even if I stand, I don't know, like all the way into the vines, I see the choke point. So, you know, zoom out your minimap to at least, like, I don't know, like 0.7, something like that. Now let's see what our friend is gonna do. Classic shorty again. Okay. Interesting wall. Ah, this is a B push, like. This is probably a B push.
At least one.
Yeah, this is a B push. Here, I would rotate immediately. Because in low elo, as I said, like, players really like that AB pattern of pushing. And another thing, like, is that in low elo lobbies, like, when enemies have, like, eco weapons, halberd weapons, and they're playing anti-eco rounds, for some reason they like going B. Even though it is counterintuitive and it doesn't make any sense, that's what usually happens.
What? A?
I'm wrong. No problem. Sorry for that.
Cover going
Yep.
out.
A.
here, like, if you wanted to play this strategy on the A side, you should have changed it a bit, as I said, because enemies already saw you playing on the right side of this cubby position. I mean, from enemy's perspective, that is the left side. So I would switch it up. Or I would use the trial and smoke to maybe, you know, just fuck up the enemies and get as many kills as possible. Fuck. Like, listen here. There are some shotgun rules that you just need to like apply in your gameplay. Number one, behave towards shotguns as if you're using some kind of a one-tap weapon, such as Sheriff. Like, essentially, discipline in your aim with shotguns is equally important as with, you know, Sheriff, Vandal, Guardian, stuff like that. Like, it's a one-tap weapon. If you nail your shots, if you have a proper crosshair placement, enemies are dead on these, you know, close-range distances. Like, take your time. Especially in this elo where, like, players have terrible reaction time, terrible crosshair placements and mechanical skill, those should be easy kills for you. Second rule is that it's always better for you to die in the process of trying to close the gap with enemies rather than dying because you don't have any more bullets. So what I mean by this is like, if you're playing shorty for an example, it is much better for you to die trying to close the gap with an enemy rather than rushing your shots out and then enemies are staring at you while you're reloading your weapon. So for an example, you know, like, let's say an enemy is here and I have a shorty. I'll try to do this before I take those shots. I'm not gonna do this, because on that distance there is no way I'm gonna take a kill. Or if an enemy is here, you know, I'll jump here and then try to jump here, and then I would once again bunny hop and try to kill that enemy. But, you know, effective range of a shorty is 0 to 5 meters maximum. And if you shoot your shots faster than that, chances are really high you're not gonna take a kill. So you need to slow down a bit. Like I like that you're trying these strategies, but you need to apply these few rules so you can actually make them work. This is just a mechanical problem, like nothing else.
Oh,
In both of these rounds, he could have had like, I mean, you could have had like a much higher impact, and you could have taken like maybe 2, 3, 4, 5 kills. So like, I don't know, depends what we do after we kill the enemies. Okay, another mistake. When you're deploying the one-ways, always deploy them based on how they look after they deploy. So what I mean by that, like, while you're placing the one-way smoke, I'm not gonna place a one-way smoke like this. Why? Because it's gonna have this moment of time where the smoke is dropping down, and during that moment of time, enemies can maybe crouch peek me and kill me there as I'm crossing, you know, in a main area of the map, for an example. So I always place the one-way smokes based on how they should look like once they're fully deployed, and I micromanage them to go up or down depending how low I want them to be. So this one way I usually put like this, so I can see the enemy's legs. Enemies don't see me at all. It instantly deploys, and that's it. And a second rule of one-way smokes is that whenever you're placing a one-way smoke, or any smoke, try to be as close as possible to that specific angle on which you're placing the smoke, so that the travel time of a smoke is as low as possible. Like, it's much better if you put this one way from this angle rather than doing it from this position. Difference is minimal, but it is still like 0.5 to maybe even 1 second. Like, I don't know. That depends how high you put the smoke, obviously.
Yeah, sure.
You can hold it tight, and I'll hold it wide.
Now, in this third round, like, we really have no idea about enemy's pattern of pushing. Enemies 2 rounds in a row pushed A. Okay. So, whenever I have no idea where the enemies are gonna go, like, I always gamble on either A site or A short. I'll start, you know, in this full buy round, I'll maybe try to stop the enemies pushing Amen, try to deny as much utility as possible from them for the actual execute of a site. And yeah, what he's doing right now is, okay, sure, fine.
Cover going out.
They smoked here.
But it kind of doesn't make any sense for like, you know, in a double controller setup, to play both controllers on same site. You know? Like, if you're playing A, your Viper duo should probably play B side. So we have immediate smokes to help our teammates. I don't see a reason ever why 2 controllers will play on the same bomb site. And also one more thing, like, Ascent is a fast rotation map on a defender side. And on the first contact, in the earlier stages of the game, between enemies and your allies, you should be doing a faster rotations. Only because, like, team play is far more important. Numbers advantage is something that you should respect 24/7. Not only advantage, like, if you're 4v4, 3v3, 2v2, fuck the map control. Like, fight for it a bit, but don't overcommit too much. Like, refrag potential on this map is everything. Like, just playing with your most aggressive allies, supporting them, stuff like that.
Nice.
Like, here, for example, like, I would not be running towards the CT. I would actually play with my Viper. If we are 5 versus 2, there is a chance for enemies to be top mid and mid. I don't really care if the enemies can be market right now or like, in Amen. As long as we, you know, like, preserve this numbers advantage, it's fine. And another thing I would have done here is I would close the doors without destroying them. So that enemies don't have one additional choke point through which they can flank us, lurk, and fuck us up. Because we don't really know if all 5 enemies were on the B side. Maybe one enemy right now is lurking through the A main, and he can backstab us on A short. Fuck it, close the doors, and then the guy needs to do all of this in order to actually do something. And it's gonna take him an enormous amount of time to complete this specific pathing. Very good that we came back to
Remaining.
Viper.
Spike down B.
Oh, goodness gracious.
Okay, okay,
Nice.
okay. I mean, we could have won this round, like, with a bit less casualties, but it is what it is.
They're probably
Killer, you were.
In this round, playing on the A set is absolutely the best choice, because, you know, obviously, like, in the last round, the enemies push B. We fucked up their push, and we can use the rule of fear to read the enemies. Like, in low elo lobbies, players are gonna follow the rule of fear, like, at least 70 or 80% of times. Because it's in their nature and, like, you know, in humans' mentality, essentially. Like, as soon as something doesn't work for these players, they're like, fuck it. You know, let's push the opposite part of the map. Which is stupid,
We need to.
obviously.
Just wait to peek till the
This smoke can kill us.
Those traveling.
KOA.
I have no idea why we didn't dodge this knife. I mean, pay attention on the circle, you could have walked. Both you and Viper, like, I have no idea why you got detected. Like, this knife was terrible from the KO. And also right now, you know, playing here is mega dangerous. Especially once the one-way smoke disappears. He needs to move out from this position. Because they have, like, 2 flashes. KO pop flash and Reyna flash. They're gonna get decimated if they play in this one and done angle.
Hard rotating.
As I said, like, you know, against this team composition, like, you know, they have like a pop flash, Reyna flash. You cannot play this one and done angle. At least not with Omen. You can play it with Yoru. You can play it with the Jet Dash ability, you know, stuff like that. Chamber Teleport, that's fine. But with Omen, like, as soon as you get you know, if I was playing this here, with this one way, as soon as I get flashed, I would immediately just pull the Shrouded Steps and get the fuck out. This should allow you to live a happy life. Because anyways, enemies need to pass a one-way smoke. They don't even see you there, so you have time to do all of that. But staying here and then just randomly spraying, you know, not even trying to destroy the flash. It's, GG, well played, Cool Tigers. Your positioning in Valorant and strategies that you perform on defender side completely depends on... Basically, it depends on a lot of factors. Like, it depends on your economy, enemy's economy, which map we're playing, which agent we're playing. Also depends, like, what is the general pattern of pushing and general, like, you know, like, general, like, playstyle of the enemies on the attacker side. But also, like, you know, what type of team composition enemies have, what type of abilities, and what type of ultimates. All these things heavily impact what you can and what you cannot do. So, playing there was a Sudoku move. Wasn't he suppressed? Yeah. Exactly. They could have dodged the knife. Both Viper and this Omen, they could have easily dodged the knife. But when you get knifed by the KO, like, look at the, you know, circle on the minimap. See if you can dodge it. As soon as they both got suppressed there, they should have moved out from that position. Like, enemies reveal them, they can easily pop flash to the smoke. I mean, listen here. Like, in this scenario, enemies did a knife. They did a grab net. They did a KO flash, and they did a arena flash. They wasted 4 pieces of utility just to regain, to take the aim and control. Your job is done. Your job is done. Now they will need to invest everything for the push on the site, and then in a post plant, they're gonna be fucked. You know? Like, that is the reason why we pressure the enemies. Not only to get the kills. Like, you don't need to force yourself so much to take the kills in the main areas of the map. Like, your main job is just to waste as much utility as possible from the enemy team, you know, take as much utility as possible before they actually reach the choke point and execute the site. Now, in this next round, I will definitely play on the B site, because enemies develop the AB pattern of pushing. And another thing that, you know, in this low elo, both low and medium elo, players have a mentality where if they have a Chaos ultimate, they want to push B. And one thing that I will do in this elo against the KO ultimate is the following. So I will start the round a bit more passively, like all the way up here or up here, like this. And then I will prepare this fake one-way smoke. It goes all the way up here, like this. As soon as the KO pops the ultimate, I'm doing the smoke so I don't get suppressed. And there is at least 60 or 70% of chance that enemies are gonna swing that smoke. Because that smoke looks like shit. Essentially, you know, nothing is really one way. Then if you peek like this, you know, you can actually peek it. And put it a bit higher, actually. Like, you can put it all the way up, you know, like this. Enemies are gonna be like, what the fuck is this smoke? You know, what the fuck is this shit? They'll have the confidence to peek these angles. But you're up there, up here. Take them out. You're gonna be good for at least 1 kill, if nothing else. And then, you know, depending what your teammates are doing, depends what you should do next. But one thing that we can notice here, first of all, this round should have been an eco round for us. Like, I mean, we lost the previous round. Actually, we have money to buy in this round. Like, in this round, you should have told your Sky and your Jet to Force. I have no idea why Jet and Sky are like echoing. But when you're starting the round on a defender side of Ascent, your eyes should be glued to the minimap in the last 5 seconds of a preparation phase. Based on the body posture of your Sky, based on the gun that she has, what is the Sky doing? She's going for an aggressive play with a shorty. She's probably gonna play inside of this corner, but that is mega giga dangerous doing alone, without someone to bait for you, or without some kind of an escape ability. So if I saw this Sky looking like this, immediate change of plan. Like, you're always adapting your playstyle and strategy that you want to do based on your allies and based on the enemies as well. I cannot lose that life from my Sky. So what I would do in this round, I would actually do a one-way smoke immediately at the start of the round and fight slightly more aggressive here. Try to kill one enemy through the one-way. By the way, when you drop this one-way, don't play, you know, some kind of an angle like that. Like, play a bit more in an uncommon way, you know. You can hide here or go all the way here. And I will just be spamming this one-way smoke as long as we don't have information about enemies. And my job is to bait for that Sky as much as I can, and then pray to God that she's gonna get a kill with a shorty. Compensate the mistakes of your allies. Notice the place that they're going for. Like, in low and medium elo, babysitting is mega important, because your teammates are consistently gonna go for some suboptimal and bad plays that you can actually capitalize on. Like, you can capitalize on that Sky. Like, once you bait for her, you don't need to go back. You can just stay here. Wait for her to take a fight and then, bam! Take another kill. And then, let's go back into the bomb site. This round is all over again, man. Okay. But we need a one-way. We need a one-way if we wanna do anything. We need to bait for her, but she's gonna die! Ah!
76.
Stealing sight.
Also, it is absolutely criminal behavior, you know, playing common angles with Omen. Like here, for an example, I mean, everything that he did was bad. I already predicted in advance what's gonna happen, like, and what he should have done. But, okay, when he was running back here, instead of doing this smoke, he should have done a one-way smoke up here.
Cover going out.
And then instantly teleport either on this position or this position. And try defending the B site with that one-way. Abusing an off angle, which, let's be honest, like in this elo, players don't have a good crosshair placement for common angles, let alone off angles. Kill one enemy, drop down, then we can do a regular smoke, wait for the smoke, reposition, keep yourself moving. But playing stairs here, like,
They're fucking rotating, dude. Oh my goodness.
you know,
Standing.
that ain't gonna work. I mean, obviously, like, he could have played this a bit better and fought with her Jet and with his Jet and stuff like that, but as you can see, there's at least, like, 7 mistakes that you made in this round. And all of these 7 stuff, if you actually applied in this round, you would have won this round 100%. 100%. Now, in this next round, even though enemies still have the KO ultimate, enemies are very persistent in using this ABCDEFG pattern of pushing. So I would actually play A. And since we're playing an eco round, Bucky light shield utility, Shorty light shield utility, let's try to use some kind of a Kabi position smokes, trial and smokes to trade ourselves for as many kills as possible. He actually has a lot of money. But here, we have like 1900 credits to invest. I would buy like Light Shield, Stinger, Smoke, and Paranoia. We have money for that. Or we can buy like you know, Light Shield, Shorty, Utility, stuff like that. Bucky as well. Why not? And just fuck up the enemies as they're running through the choke point. But we have one problem happening. Okay, I mean, like, he needs to eco this round. Even though these three guys are buying, this guy can buy next round, this guy can buy next round, you know, half buy. This guy can help, you know, buy next round. Okay, okay.
At least 1 or 2A.
Please change your setups. Like, once you show the enemies a certain setup in one way, change it. Like, one, you know, beautiful thing about Omen is that you can do the same strategy in at least 2, 3, or 4 different ways in the same position if you slightly fine-tune your utility usage. Like, you don't need to play only right side here. You can play left side with the Kabi position smoke. We can do the trial and smoke here and fuck up the enemies instead of that smoke. We can also do the smoke like this. And then wait to see what enemies are gonna do and maybe play right here. And try to fuck up the enemies as they're exiting the smoke. Like, it doesn't need to be the same stuff 24/7.
KO was over
Cover going out.
here. Double brim smoke over here.
Shadows traveling.
Rotating hard.
That second smoke, the first smoke was unnecessary. And this second smoke was like, yeah, bro, like. Yeah. Yeah.
They might rotate.
Oh,
Oh, they're pushing it.
God help us.
Last brim smoke here. Down A.
Territory, mine. I have them now.
You know. Like, even though you're playing in low elo, like, you know. You're not playing against AI. You're not playing against literal bots. I mean, to be honest, like, these players are not that smart, but if I get punished I mean, they already saw you 2 or 3 times playing here. You can repeat the same play in the same way 2 times during your gameplay. But already 3rd or 4th time, you need to change something. Like, you don't do the same shit, like, you know. Like, there's a lot of different easy strategies you can use for these eco rounds. It doesn't need to be playing here 24/7. That was expected. Like, I mean, already at the start of your rounds, we know if you're gonna die or win a round. Like, your initial positioning needs to be better, and your depth, gameplay depth, needs to be much deeper, essentially. Like, you need to apply different setups, different strategies, like, not only one thing 24/7.
Damn. Dude,
This round was also winnable. If he just changed this strat in a slightly different way, we could have gotten like maybe 1, 2, 3 kills with the Bucky and just be, you know, done with the round.
I just can't use it.
Now in this round, once again, I will play the B side, and once again, based on the body posture of my Jet, we see that she's going for an aggressive play. Why am I playing B side? AB pattern of pushing, plus they have the KO ultimate, so, you know, chances are really high they're gonna go B. If we are wrong, fuck it, that's the only information we have. And listen here, even if, so, you decided to play passively on A side. If I'm playing passively on A, and I see that my teammates are aggressing the B main area of the map, I'm gonna give them the one way. In this low and medium elo, I have no idea. For what, you know, what's gonna be the outcome of this fight in the B main area of the map. And the best bet I can do is just do that one way and pray to God that it's gonna be enough to support my allies. And maybe it could have been enough.
If KO's there, they're pushing it.
We should smoke for the sky.
Shadows traveling.
Okay, we should expect enemies to push CT.
Just don't peek it. Don't peek it.
I mean, listen here. He wasted a lot of the time, you know, placing this smoke. This smoke is good to cross into the site and to help his teammates. But if I have a teammate that is on site, I'll try to use the life of that teammate as soon as possible to potentially fight the enemies and take some kills. Like here, you know, this needed to be much faster. Like, when he was here, he just should have done this, instantly walk through the smoke and try to support the Killjoy and try to get some kills before going out and playing the retake with the rest of his allies. Like that, Killjoy was mega fucking stuck, essentially. And also, if your teammates are stuck on the B set, especially on a position where the Killjoy was, one of the best smokes that you can give for your allies, if they're already playing both house and here, is this type of a smoke. So they can actually play around it, you know, peek the enemies here, peek the enemies here, go in and out of the both house and potentially outmaneuver the enemies. Like that would be also the play if you don't want to help that Killjoy ASAP. But reading the enemies, 0 points.
Just don't peek it. Don't peek it. Clove just ulted. Kitty through
Wait,
big ult too.
wait, passive.
Nice. Alright, you're good.
Viper is going in, we need to help the Viper. Okay. Like here, to be fair, like I would just wait for the KO ultimate to go down. Like, there's no reason to peek the enemies. There's no reason to fight them. Like, they just planted the spike. We have 36 seconds to defuse the spike. It's fine. You know, wait for the utility. We have 2 shrouded steps. 1 smoke, paranoia. But if your teammates don't want to wait, we need to swing out, baby. Like, we need to go in, bro. Okay. When you're using your utility to execute the bomb sites, to pressure the enemies, and there is a smoke in front of you, use your utility either outside of the smoke or inside of the smoke. But never walk inside of the smoke with your utility out in the hands. Doing something like this, or something like this. Like, how are you positive that one enemy, you know, is not in the smoke? I don't know, man. Like, I'm not a Harry Potter. You're not a, you know, we're not wizards here. Let's not pre-assume that type of shit. And also here, swinging outside of this smoke without gaining any information about the enemies is mega dangerous. Thanks God, we're playing Omen, so we can get that information by using the fake shrouded steps and revealing the enemies. Playing with the enemy's mind, getting the information for our teammates and our crosshair placement, and then we can swing out and delete the enemies together. But no, we're just gonna do a dry peek, and now we can get fucked. Like peeking the smoke without any information is just a suicide. If you already have a shrouded steps, like one enemy can be here, you know, looking there, here, here, like in the boat house, like too many angles to clear. Ooh. Listen here. When you see this type of a smoke, that looks fishy. You know, I have a strategy where basically I mean, that smoke looks like shit. But I have a strategy where, like, I place this smoke like this, and then I play in this small cubby position and make it as believable as possible. So I would be aware that maybe one enemy is potentially inside of that smoke. I don't know, like, I mean, if they're gonna, if that is, like, I don't know why claw smoke like that, but I would just be aware of it. Like, here, as I said, like, he should have used the shrouded steps too, because that recon shrouded steps that you do, not only that you get information for your crosshair placement, but you additionally play with the enemy's mind. Like, they need to flick left and right, like, search for your body, like, see where the fuck you ended up, like, you know, additional layer of pressure. we would have known that, you know, Brimstone is actually peeking that angle, like, I don't know.
Last player standing. Remaining.
Got through. And that's how I died. They just started shooting.
Once again, in this round alone, he could have made like 9 to 10 better plays in terms of their positioning and utility usage and team play overall. Like in every round on a defender side, you're missing a lot. Defense is not hard for you because enemies are good. Like, defense is hard because you need to use better utility. Like you need to position yourself better. Now, in this next round, enemies are mega consistent, like in using this AB pattern of pushing. So we are playing A side. As long as the enemies are following this pattern, that is our best bet to counter them and to win the rounds. Like in low elo and medium elo, you need to be really good with predicting the enemies. And, you know, taking every single piece of information in account when you're positioning yourself initially. Because you need to guess at least 70 or 80% of times where the enemies are going to go next and to control the outcome of these rounds and outcome of these executes. Not really executes, but outcome of defending the site. So here, playing A set absolutely fine. Our teammates are forcing, so we need to force as well. And here I would probably just buy a judge, heavy shield utility, and ask from one of my teammates to drop me a sheriff. Because with a judge in, you know, against the full buy enemies, you do want to have a sheriff as a secondary option if you end up, you know, in some kind of an long range or medium range gunfight.
Shooting a stupid container, dude.
This buy option doesn't make any sense because, listen, if 3 of your teammates are forcing, you should always force with them. There's no point in saving the money or saving the economy. Because in the next round, they don't have the money, so you playing a full buy weapon is just pointless.
Cover going out.
Precision of your default smokes needs to be a bit better on a defender side. Like you consistently have some gaps left and right, like through which enemies can see your allies, see into the site. Like, take your time. Precision is more important than speed. Okay, I mean here, like we have the whole we have the Chernobyl, you know, at the choke point, 2 nanoswarms and alarm bot. So, okay, like what I would be doing here is same what he is doing. Like I would be guarding the short area of the map, but instead of having a stinger, I would have a judge, sheriff, and utility, and I would just be holding this angle, waiting to see what enemies, or maybe baiting the enemies with a sheriff, making them think that they have a sheriff in the A short area of the map, and then pulling out the judge. That's one of the most effective ways to actually sell the shotguns and to take the take the kills with the shotguns. Like you bait the enemies into thinking that you don't have a shotgun, you have a sheriff, and then they just swing out like a monkeys, and you know, you just take the easiest kills ever. Play with the enemy's mind. At least in this low elo, it's easy.
I'm gonna sap on
here.
box.
Okay, that's A push. She rotated A.
Shadows.
Well, Chernobyl deactivated. And now here we need to support our allies. Like, first of all, it would be amazing right now if he had a paranoia and judge. Like if enemies are pushing through the choke point, you just drop the paranoia. Ba 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 ba. Like you're sitting here, enemies are pushing. Like as soon as you see the first enemy out, ba 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 ba. 2, 3, 4 kills easy. So, and we need to support our teammates. Like letting the Reyna die and Viper and Killjoy die for nothing. In this round, it would be stupid because we only have a stinger. Come on, bap 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 bap. Yeah, and also please, when you're playing inside of the smokes, like, don't play, you know, that's something, I mean, I explained this on the attacker side already, like, I mean, how you're positioning yourself in the choke points and in the smokes, you should pay attention on that. Like, you never want to there's no reason to stand on that specific corner in the smoke. Like I would just be playing, you know, on the side here, and then once the enemies are going out, bap 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 bap, supporting that Killjoy and Viper. My dude gave up on life, man. My guy is like, I'm out, bro. I'm out.
What?
I feel like he
Play differently.
Mr. Wolfstream, man.
right there. I was in.
In this round, no doubt, I'm playing on a B side. And I'm locking down the B with a one-way smoke, and that's it. Like, if enemies don't go B in this round, I'm selling my whole I'm giving away my YouTube channel.
In the smoke behind the KJ, and they sprayed at her, missed her, and shot me in the head.
I hear them B.
I was like, I don't know about that
Stay
shift.
there.
No, they need my smoke soups.
Oh.
Whereas you have your util down there.
He just immediately pushed me.
And listen here, because, so, what type of information you have about the enemies in this match? Enemies are consistently pushing together as 5. They're never lurking, they're never flanking, and they're never rotating. They just commit to the initial site that they like, they push. They push at the start of the round. Second information that we have is that we're playing a fast rotation map where we value team play and playing together. So here, like, if you know that enemies are pushing B, like, I will be doing this smoke for my teammates on this, you know, choke point. But when I have the Omen ultimate, I would instantly do the ultimate to either backstab the enemies and lock them down from behind, or to play with a Killjoy. Like here, what I would do is either this to play with a Killjoy and fully stop the enemy's push, or I would do this to lock down the enemies from behind, from this off angle, and potentially find, you know, some kills for myself and my team. Because, I mean, I don't know why enemies are pushing that Killjoy ultimate, but that's a very risky move, but we'll see how the round goes.
No,
But he should have used the ultimate in this round to either pressure the enemies or to rotate faster.
you have your util down there.
My territory, my rules!
He just immediately pushed me.
Hawk out. Hawk out. Spike
This
planted.
guy, dude.
Cover going out.
You have recon ability. It's called Shrouded Steps. Pushing through this smoke, Sudoku. Absolute Sudoku. But using a fake teleport through this smoke to reveal the enemies and then pushing out, muy bien. This is something I didn't predict. Like, this was mega risky, man. Like there's not a single spot. Like if you don't have information, you know, about this, there's not a single teleport from the market that we can use without a smoke, paranoia, or utility to take this space. There's not a single spot where you can actually teleport, where it is actually safe. This was a bit lucky that you lived a life. Listen here. I really hope we're not gonna forget about the enemy that is in the B main. We, like, in this scenario here, like, we need to deal with the guy that is in B main. Because Viper is stuck in the CT. There's 2 enemies on the actual bomb site, like, getting pinched by that enemy in the B main. You know, this retake is not gonna work if you don't deal with that enemy. Some, like, when I have numbers advantage and you know, when my teammates are healthy and like a lot of times I ignore that guy in the B main and I just take the side control fast and that's it. But here, you know, Viper is like 10 HP. I cannot fight 1 versus 2 on the B side. We need to deal with this guy in the B mid first.
Last player standing.
Never mind, that guy dealt with us.
Main.
Here. I'm playing mid, and I'm rotating almost.
This round, playing on A side is good, and we should do it. And chances of enemies going A is really, really high. Our teammates are forcing, so we need to force with them. I would just tell my Jet brother, can you drop me that good shit again? Jet drops your Judge, Heavy Shield, Sheriff, and Utility. That is what I would play again. And once again, you know, also with the Judge, you don't need to play aggressively. You know, if you showcase to enemies all of these plays, you know, that you like to play here, like, you know, this smoke, this smoke, this smoke, this smoke. You can play passively. Like, we can bait the enemies with a Sheriff, you know, do a one-way smoke, or without a smoke, jiggle pick the enemies, and bait them into coming onto site. And then we can play backside. Why not? With a Sheriff, try maybe to get one more shot onto the enemies. Enemies are pushing in. We use these 2 smokes. Let's play now. You know, look at the minimap. Search for the sound. And as soon as the enemies are close to you, like, ba-ba-boo-ba-ba-ba, kill them. Or, you know, wait for the enemies to push you a bit and just decimate them with a Judge.
Just wait a moment. Their entire team's waiting. Here, 4.
I don't know how many times we're gonna play here. And playing here without any cover for your eyes, you know, some Kabe position smoke, is mega dangerous. Like, they have the Reyna flash, KO flash, we're dead.
I deserve to die there.
The hunt begins.
Alarm bot out.
Cover going out.
35 Reyna, KO.
we ate that flash, bro. That actually clutched that, bro. That's insane. Now in this round, guess what? We're playing B side. I don't want to repeat myself, like, why we're playing B, like, enemies are just way too repetitive. And I don't know why we're buying the Outlaw. Listen, Outlaw, I only buy in the anti-eco rounds, and that's it. Or if I notice that like 3 or 4 enemies or 5 enemies have less than 3,800 credits. But if enemies have money to buy the heavy shields, I will never buy the Outlaw in that specific round. I'll buy a Vandal with a light shield, Guardian Bulldog, Stinger Heavy Shield Shorty, Heavy Shield Judge Sheriff. Like, all of these options are better than
Would seem alright.
Outlaw.
Figure out what they do eventually.
I mean, you see here, all of these enemies are gonna buy. Like, they're gonna have like 3 heavy shields, maybe even 4, like depending what Reyna decides to buy.
Except I.
Okay, we didn't go for the Outlaw. Listen, another passive strategy that you can use when you cannot stop the enemy's push through the aiming area of the map on Ascent is the upper box strategy. Essentially, you know, we start the round here, fully sell the aim and control to the enemies if you're playing alone on the A side. And there's not a single teammate to support you. And you just cannot stop the enemy's push, either because of their utility or because nothing works for you. Start the round here. As soon as you see that enemies are, you know, taking the aim and control, like they're pushing in, use this smoke, just so that we waste some utility from the enemies. Wait for an enemy to hit the switch, kill that guy, TP away towards the safety. Another cheesy way how you can get a free kill, and that's it. And with the high penetration weapons, also you can play in short. And then, when enemies are pushing towards the switch, you can spam this part of the wall, bop, 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 bop. Kill that enemy. From this smoke. Enemies are planting the spike right here. Bop, 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 bop. Kill that enemy. So for an example, you know, that's what we could have done these two options we had like in this round. Especially because he decided to go for the Guardian.
Do you hear him?
But in this round, he should have played.
I heard one picking up orb B.
He should have played on B side because enemies are so consistent at pushing the beam in area of the map. Plus we can spam the B wall and kill them as they're taking the orbs and pushing there like with the Guardian high penetration weapons. Like it's a paper map.
They're here. They're here.
Okay.
Found them. Alarm bot down.
Shadows traveling.
Variable removed.
That smoke that you did there in a speedway, it gives the enemies a lot of opportunities to drop down, drop on the box. Like, if you want to stop the enemies push through the speedway, or delay them a bit, a one-way or a deeper smoke. Like the smoke needs to look like this, or it needs to look like this, and that's it. Like, we cannot. I mean, a bit lower. Like this smoke that you did here, enemies can drop here, then ba 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 ba, drop on the box here, and then ba 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 ba, peek from the right side. Like, so many opportunities that we need to be aware of. Limit those opportunities.
Ran by a switch.
Listen, man. Like, depending which weapon you have, which weapons enemies have, depends which fights you should force. Like, I am trying to avoid 50-50 fights as much as I can. But if I see an enemy Reyna with a Spectre there, and I have a Guardian, I don't want that Reyna to come near my butthole, you know? I want to fuck her up as she's moving through the stairs in this long-range gunfight. I mean, medium-long range. Now, fight, fight, fight! You should have fought this.
Coming up behind Clove now.
One enemy remaining.
You had your fun.
Last player standing.
Oh my god, she
Play slow,
ulted,
play
dude.
slow. That Clove will die.
Okay, listen. When you're stuck in the boathouse and, like, you're 1 versus 1 or, like, whatever, like, 1 versus 2 or enemies are pushing you, you want to use either this or this smoke to outmaneuver the enemies. Like, basically, to isolate 1v1 fights and to potentially surprise the enemies. Plus, if you have the shrouded steps, I mean, like, in this scenario here, what I would have done is this smoke here, and from this smoke, I'm just gonna do this. Make the enemies think that I'm teleporting stairs, and then stick to playing the boathouse. Doing this smoke on the right side doesn't do anything right now because this Clove is gonna push you with the ultimate. She's gonna see that you're not in the smoke, you're still boathouse, and now 2 enemies can pinch you together and you're dead.
One enemy remaining.
Shroud the steps, come on. Let's play with the Reyna mind.
That's
Go somewhere, reveal her!
Whatever long she has.
She can kill us from left, she can kill us from right.
Did we ever have Spike down?
Shroud the
but she
steps.
30 seconds
Reyna
left.
has it.
Spike
Okay,
planted.
okay. Now in this 1v1 fight, to be honest, always expect enemies to push you. You need to, like, 1v1 retakes are always based on a lot of luck, a lot of gambling. Depends how much HP you have, how much HP enemies have, which utility you have. Like here, for an example, you need to clear every corner methodically, 1 by 1. We need to use the smoke on the spike. We need to use the shrouded steps to reveal the Reyna. Like, everything needs to be perfect. Clear this angle. Expect her to be here. Slow down, jiggle peek the corners. We cannot use the smoke here. She can be short. Check right, check left. Now, this smoke that we did in the choke point, absolutely pointless. Why is it a pointless smoke? Because we needed a smoke to actually half defuse the spike or to tap the spike. And to make the enemy Reyna make some kind of a move. Maybe even stick it. I don't know. Like, here what I would have done is just shroud the steps to potentially reveal the Reyna. Spike is there. Let's use a smoke. Let's TP there. Let's tap the spike. Let's gamble a bit. Now, wait to see. Where the fuck is she? Can I stick the spike? Is she spamming me? Like, we need to practice that. in a custom server. Oh, the spike is actually planted here. She's probably main, to be honest. Main or short. Yeah, that spike plant gave it away. Yeah, main or short. Okay. I mean, a lot of the gaps in your gameplay. Overall, as I said, on the attacker side, I think that Omen, as an agent, suits you okay. The problem is just that the depth of your gameplay is very shallow. Like, you need to think about a lot of different variables. You need to put yourself in a lot of different situations. You need to try different stuff. Like, I don't know how much you watched my ranked playbook for Omen on my Discord server before submitting this VOD, but in the ranked playbook there is at least 60 or 70% of things that you're not applying within your gameplay. Overall, you know, majority of your problems are purely based on your game knowledge and how you play Valorant and how you play the ranked team play as well. Like, positioning is poor, refrag game is poor as well, like it needs to be better. Utility user needs to be based on a lot of different factors. So after this VOD review, I will share with you 4 or 5 hours of additional coaching content that is going to teach you a lot of useful stuff about, you know, Valorant. Like some of the topics that you need to dial in within your gameplay. And when it comes to your mechanical skill, I really don't think we need to complicate your training and warm-ups. Like, you need to just practice the fundamentals such as, you know, micro corrections, reaction time, and tracking. And that's it, like, and of course, just focus on better gunplay. So I'm just gonna share with you some kind of a basic training, and we'll see where you're gonna go with that, with that specific training. I really feel that if you fix these specific, if you apply the solutions that we talked about during this VOD review, if you apply the training that I'm gonna share with you today, that's gonna develop your game knowledge, your everything essentially, I think that with Omen, until the end of this year, Ascendant 1 minimum. Minimum. Like, it is bad, but trust me, I've coached some silver players that are, like, uncoachable. I mean, no one is uncoachable, but I've coached some silver players that are silver for, like, 5,000 hours. 4 years. You're a newcomer to Valorant. You pick the agent that is actually very versatile. One of the best agents to actually learn the game. If you follow my advice, follow the training, apply the stuff from the ranked playbook, from the videos that I'm going to share with you, I guarantee you, I don't know, until the end of the year, like, minimum Diamond or Ascendant. Period. I have nothing else to say. Case closed, essentially. Okay, guys. Thank you for watching this VOD review. Make sure to subscribe, leave a like, leave a comment, follow me on twitch.tv/charlatan for some daily live streams where I lose my mental health and hear from playing ranked solo queue in Valorant. If you want me to review your VODs, you can submit them on my Discord server. Join Discord server for, you know, coaching and other stuff for the ranked playbook. And remember that I have 2 YouTube channels. Main YouTube channel and a second YouTube channel where I upload all of my VOD reviews, reactions on streams and stuff like that. I have like 103 or 104 VOD reviews uploaded there, full VOD reviews. Like, that is around 500 hours of free coaching content. If you watch all of these VOD reviews and apply every information from them, enough for you to reach Ascendant at least, bare minimum. Plus the ranked playbook, Immortal. Plus some private coaching, Radiant. Okay, I cannot really guarantee you that, but you don't need to buy coaching, like, you know, like, you can just improve on your own and with free content as well. Thank you for watching, and I will see you in the next video.